Good morning. This is JahLogic, and you're watching the Morning Rant. And with me, I have my co-host, Schoolboy, of course. Schoolboy, what's up, player?
What's happening? What's happening?
All right. And I have my two special guests, Toinecast and C-Dot, from the morning show, Straight Up in the Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good
Good morning, Twan.
Good morning. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we got to get you a tripod for your phone.
Yeah, I work at Amazon and I haven't even. I have a gimbal. I just got to go get it from storage.
Yes, you have to get it from storage because we don't want that to be your whole thing that they know you for. Readjust.
That's his thing. That's his thing now.
Yeah, keep moving the camera.
Yeah, tell the people about Straight Up in the Morning in case they haven't had the opportunity of watching Straight Up in the Morning yet before we get started with the show. How did it come to be? What is Straight Up in the Morning?
Say it again.
How did it come to be? What is Straight Up in the Morning? I mean, obviously it's a morning show, but how did it come to be? Tell us a little more.
Well, basically, Straight Up in the Morning started as a radio show. We were on internet radio, and I put together a team. First, I was doing it by myself, and then I put together a team. And then, we began to grow as a team and flourish as a team. And when we first got to the station, we were the number 8 show. And within, I would say like a 6 months period, we immediately began to get some traction and things began to really go forth. And we became the number 1 radio show at the station. And C-Dot, Sam and J58, we just put together a show every single Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 now on the Rant network. Big shout out to my man JahLogic and J58 for the connection. But we're an unfiltered morning radio show. We curse, we get really foul early in the morning because somebody is woke and they need to hear they want to hear it how they would explain it to somebody. So that's what Straight Up in the Morning is, an unfiltered, all the way to the max, filthy, sensible, pro-black radio show. I mean, streaming show now. Sorry.
Right. I mean, just a show, just a talk show. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
Show. Yeah. I mean, when we put all the titles of where it is and how it's being broadcast, a lot of that is, irrelevant because, we have to, with business, you have to move along with technology. Technology has to, you have to move with technology. So if the new way of broadcasting is via the internet, then that's just what it is. You know what I mean? But it's pretty interesting because now you can have like a television show, what was originally a television show online. So same with internet radio, right? So, but now that visuals are becoming more feasible to create online, that's just what it is. So, like he said, if you haven't seen it, they are now on the Rant network. And I want to thank you guys for bringing your talents to Rant, to the Ranters Union. The Ranters Union is the first podcast union that I ever heard of, at least. Right. So we like to hold each other down. Our motto here is to inspire and to succeed. You know what I mean? So we looking forward to, supporting you guys in any way we can.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem.
See, that's his thing. That's his thing. That's his thing now.
Yeah. So today we got a bunch of stories. Yesterday's show was
That was crazy.
It was crazy. It was crazy. I had a lot of fun yesterday. Shout out to Vanessa. It was her birthday yesterday. It was a lot of people's birthday. I went and looked online. I seen a lot of people that I know and love, and it was their birthdays as well. I'm like, wow, seems to be a popular time to be born. But yesterday's show was off the chain, just like Sunday's show of Straight Up in the Morning. Sunday's show.
Man. That was insane. Because I wasn't feeling good. That's why I told them, I was like, I'll just watch and I'll just comment and I'll just look. And then when I saw they took that Crab Daddy, I was like, no, I'm going to get up. I'm going to try to get on here to see what this guy wants to talk about. And
right.
Then he wants to get on angry. Like, oh, relax. We were having such a good time.
Yeah. Well, Crab Daddy is someone that's really familiar in this sector of YouTube. There's different sectors of YouTube, and he's a character, and everyone knows what to expect from him. I feel like you guys didn't know what to expect, but
we did not. We did not expect. We did not know what to expect from him when he went in the way he did. First, we thought we had a pretty good thing going on.
We did. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Every quarter second of it, I enjoyed of it.
No doubt.
When my man J58 asked him that one question, he went from 1 to 100.
Facts.
Man. And I said, damn, look at Viking White striking again.
So Crab Daddy, if you hear this, I guess you were on white people court, and I guess now you're in the hole. So you have to come back. You have to come back to white people court, and you have to, you have to apply for parole. You have to apply for parole.
Pretty much.
You have to go against the parole board next time. So
it's not looking good.
Cassius Kelso, top of the morning, good people. May today be greater than our last. Salute. I embrace that. I accept
Thank
that.
you.
Yes.
Definitely.
Twirl Talk Sports. I see. Salute, Jah. I see you. Salute, Ty West. I see you as well. Twirl Talk Sports also say top of the morning, bro. Damn, I wanted to heat J Doug. I thought that was a hat he was wearing all this time. I don't know where J Doug is this morning. J Doug does a late show. Hopefully he'll pull up later in the show. But I don't know where he is. Twan, I hear a little crackling from your side, and it could affect my mic. So I'm just gonna mute you when you're not talking, if you don't mind. So just don't worry about trying to unmute yourself. I'll unmute it. My mic, for some reason, as the host, always get distorted the most when other sounds are going on. I see some other people want to check in, and we will get to those comments once they register within the program. And we're going to start talking about these stories. And I guess we're going to start off with, and I wish J Doug was here for this. Oh, I wish J Doug was here for this story. I don't know where he is. I hope he pulls up soon. But we're going to start with your man. Matter of fact, who sent us this story? Because if Steph sent this story, I'm going to have to wait. Who sent us the R. Kelly story?
Oh, shit.
Schoolboy. Your mic is on Teddy Riley, Schoolboy. Mike is on.
I don't know. Let me look, because me and R. Kelly aren't on good terms.
Right. I feel like just out of respect, I have to wait for J Doug and or Stephon for that story, because they have a in their studio in Florida, they have a whole picture of R. Kelly there. They have a motto. They want to be R. Kelly good, meaning that R. Kelly did all of this craziness and he still was able to galvanize the support of the people. So
when y'all talk about that, if y'all would I would love to be there, because I had my things with R. Kelly as well.
I mean, I really need these guys to pull up. sooner than later. Because we have to get into this today. And you know what we'll start with? We'll start with the most depressing story of them all. How about that?
Oh,
Well,
okay.
maybe not the most depressing, but one of the depressing stories. And I'm sick of this shit. So we're gonna go to China. We're gonna go across the board, and we're gonna go to China. And apparently, China is we went in the past. This is somewhat of an update. In the past, we spoke about China possibly having the bubonic plague. They said they found something, the bubonic plague again in China. Um, and this comes to us via the Express. And it says China bubonic plague spreads. Beijing orders second lockdown after new horror death. And there's a video, so I'm gonna go ahead and let the video speak for itself. For some reason my computer's acting a little slow right now, but here we go. And there's no volume to the video, but it's this horrible looking image. Okay, here we go. There's volume.
3 major plague pandemics have occurred in human history. And while they occurred centuries apart, they shared similar traits that paved the way for the spread of disease. One cause of plague pandemics was the rise of international trade. Trade routes connected once isolated communities and created large economic networks. But by facilitating the movement of goods between communities, trade routes also facilitated the movement of germs. Cities and their residents essentially became incubators for germs and diseases. This was particularly evident in the second and most infamous plague pandemic. In the 14th century, Europe was experiencing an economic and population boom, especially in cities. Proper waste management did not exist at the time, making cities vulnerable to disease. After trade routes brought plague from Asia, where it killed millions in China and the Middle East, the disease wiped out about a third of Europe's population, earning itself the moniker, the Black Death. What also aided in the transmission of the disease was the lack of medical knowledge. For most of human history, the cause of illnesses, germs, was unknown, making sicknesses like the plague a mystery. This lack of knowledge drove the spread of disease as recently as the 19th century. Outbreaks in northwest India eventually reached major port cities in China. In just over a century, plague was exported throughout the globe and caused outbreaks in every continent except Antarctica.
Okay, so I guess that was a little history on the Black Plague. But the article goes on to tell us that they found the Black Plague in China, which we know because we spoke about this on a previous episode. However, it's worse. So they say sadly a man died in the region of the city of Benoit. Am I saying that right? Correct? Schoolboy, have you heard of this? Benoit, I don't know. The multiple organ failure after contracting this deadly disease that caused the Black Death. Authorities tracked the man's movements back to his village and sealed it off. This is the second village to be placed in quarantine within the past few weeks. Authorities in that city said the place of residence of the deceased is locked down and a comprehensive investigation is being carried out. The statement added, currently there is risk of the human plague spreading in our city. Last Thursday, another person died from the bubonic plague. This was in the adjacent city of Batu. Health officials in the city announced a villager there had died of circulatory system failure due to infection with the bubonic plague. Health officials then rushed to seal off the village of another village, which name I can't pronounce, where the deceased person had first come into contact with the disease. The reason for such extreme measures is because the bubonic plague is highly infectious and often fatal disease. The World Health Organization, titled WHO, said bubonic plague has a case fatality ratio of 30% to 100% if left untreated. And I don't know about you, but I'm sick of China and this shit. I'm sick of this shit.
Well, upon you talking about that.
Hold on. Yeah, echo. Let me see. 1, 2, mic check. Let's see where the echo's coming from your side, Twan. I don't know why. I don't know if you're listening to Twan's system is just embarrassing him today.
I'm glad it's not me today, because usually it's me. So, so I'm glad it ain't me today.
Well, you know what? It could also be the program. I don't know. Twan, we're gonna put you on. I'm gonna take you off mute again. Yeah. Twan.
Yo.
Yeah, I hear echo again for some reason. I don't know if you're listening to us via another speaker and it might be leaking back into your sound. I'm not sure.
So I've been doing a project that deals with streaming media with a tech company, and I think it has to do with the underlying tech. Like the mobile streaming is a lot harder to do than just to computer to computer. It's kind of a weird concept, but
right. C-Dot, you were saying something before we
yeah, while you were talking about it, I kind of did some quick research, and
right.
It says the human to human transmission of that plague is rare. So then what are they doing to actually get this to be spreading it to everybody?
They're eating rodents.
Yeah,
but they've been eating rodents forever.
I'm tired of this shit. You know what I mean? They eat bats, cats, rats.
And so have we, because we ate China food.
Yeah, but that food is cooked. They're eating the stuff that they just killed. It's still warm. They're like, let me eat the heart. You know what I'm saying?
Let's try this again. Nope. Twan, hop out and hop back in, and hop back out and hop back in and see if it makes a difference. I don't know what's going on. I'm just sick of the diseases coming from China at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be a racist. I'm not trying to make people hate Chinese folks. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, they have to take some accountability. Like, you know what I mean? And then the other thing is, we know that China and America is not necessarily on the best of terms. You know what I mean? So it's like, is this like, you know, warfare that they're like, you know, we're going to kill some of our people and then we're just going to send that shit over there. You feel me? Because like everything is fucking made in China. Who's to say? We just had an article not too long ago where they sent like seeds or some shit like that, like from packages that nobody knew who was sending them these fucking seeds. It was coming from China. Like I'm really suspect of China right now, and I wouldn't buy anything from Wish or anything else coming from China right now.
Don't talk about my folks over there at Wish, man. They still sending me packages that I ordered last year in March. So I need to get the rest of my stuff.
Put all them packages in the bin and sanitize the shit out of them before you even fuck with them.
And I just rip them open and breathe in all the China air, man. I'll be like, just gotta make sure it smells like, you know, shrimp fried rice in that bitch. So it's legit.
Yeah, I'm not with it.
Also, I saw on Healthline, it said that, you know, you shouldn't even be worried because they say the disease isn't as deadly as it was before because of the antibodies that we can take and that people's immune system is a little bit better now. Don't know how, you know, true that is, but they say the disease pops up every year in multiple countries, including the U.S. And this is all from Healthline.
Well, you know what? I really hope there's nothing to be worried about. I'm tired of this shit. I think China needs to, you know, get their shit together, and hopefully they're not going to use any of this shit as this chemical warfare, biological warfare, however the term goes.
But I mean, if you look at it now, because, you know, COVID's running around, then you want to turn around and tell me now you got this other plague. It does look like they're trying to kill us.
That's what I'm saying. And then isn't China known for like trying to depopulate their own as well?
Yeah. So one of the things I want to say is, as a amateur political scientist, I got the little BA, whatever. So the biggest threat to a government's power, every country in the world, is what? Overpopulation.
Always.
That's the thing. Like, it really is. Like, according to the books, the thing that's going to, if nothing else happens, the thing that will take away from the government's power is having not enough reach and resources to control the population. So these little things that are happening. You guys heard about the Georgia Guidestones? We're gonna go into a little bit of conspiracy theory this morning.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
The
preach.
Georgia Guidestones is like a massive structure, sort of like a Stonehenge. It's at a random location in Georgia. It has all of these things that need to happen before a certain period of time, or the earth isn't going to exist as it exists now. One of the things that's on there is depopulation of the world. So I think like 300 million people. 300 million people. Do you understand how many people have to die for there to be 300 million people in the world?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or something. It was something like that. I can't. Let me look it up before I start talking crazy. But long story short, but nobody knows who put it there. Nobody put it like hey, this was built by so and so and such and such. So a lot of people think that it's one of those things with the what do you call this? The New World Order or something like that. But it's pretty consistent with you remember how coronavirus really touched off early on in this year, and all these major CEOs just left their jobs.
Yeah.
Bill Gates was like, "Oh yeah, Microsoft. I'm not cheering that anymore. It's time to go." You know, he made this thing up, and well, I shouldn't say he made it up, but he's very on the forefront of what we're doing to combat the coronavirus. It's kind of sketchy.
I'm
This
with you
whole
on that.
thing, this whole thing is sketchy, and I'm gonna go to some of these comments before we move on to the next topic. And Mills Lane says, "Good morning, folks." Good morning, Mills Lane. Good morning to you, good brother. Loyalville in the league said, "What up? Salute, Loyalville." Keenan Kong says, "C dot on that Lupe Fiasco side of the game this morning." Yeah. Loyalville in the league says, "C dot got some nice locks."
Oh, thank you.
And Kelso says, "Lupe Fiasco is crazy." Laugh all out. And Kelso says, "What they on, folk? Hey man, it looks like China has, done it again.
Right.
They sealed off some cities due to the bubonic plague, and the last time they started sealing off cities, we still ended up with the fucking coronavirus."
Yep.
So, well, COVID-19, because apparently Corona has always been around, but we ended up with this
Allegedly.
But we ended up with this whole new form of it, and whatever they did not stop us from getting it. So and it went to Europe, of course, and came here and went everywhere. So I'm just not feeling China right now. I'm really not. I'm not feeling it, and something is up. Something's fishy. Mills Lane also says China has known and unknown enemies, including Agent Orange.
Absolutely.
Laura in the league says Chinese food is nasty.
Depending on where you get it from.
Well, this is the thing. This is the interesting thing about Chinese food, quote unquote Chinese food. What you know as Chinese food here in America is not Chinese food. They're giving you their take on, American style food. They're giving you what they know you like. They're giving you your beef, your shrimp. They of course they're putting their spices in it or whatever, but they're giving us fried chicken because they know black people love fried chicken, so they give us all the fried chicken we can eat with the fried wings and the French fries and all that. But that's not what they eat. That's not real Chinese food. So there's that. Pressure salute. He says, "What up? What up to you?" Mills Lane says, "Our Potters has been breaking down all domestic rules. But I have not heard him on breaking war crimes." That's interesting. Precious says, "Schoolboy is a Freemason peep game." Schoolboy has never been. He's never not told us he was a Mason. He spoke about it on Tom the Hill. If you listen to Tom the Hill, so.
Oh, they must have just saw the ring. I'm about to say they just saw the ring. I peeped that the other day when I was watching y'all.
Yeah, so no real conspiracy there. He's been vocal about that. Not much clandestine on that at all. Mills Lane says, "Pressure, what up?" Precious says under 500,000, I believe.
That's correct. I actually found the list of things that are on here, and it's under 500 million is the 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. So basically, there's a lot of rules around trying to be in perfect, leaving room for nature. The last rule is be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. So
my thing is this: if this world would get wiped out due to anything, I mean, like, as long as we go at the same time. I'm not trying to have like no real like
long protracted.
Everybody gotta go together.
We gotta go together. We gotta go.
Oh,
I don't want to be in no Walking Dead situation where I gotta,
But do you
travel.
think you could survive?
I know I can survive, but the thing is, who will want to survive that? And then the other thing is, I have a family, so it's like, who wants to, have to watch your back, your family's back, everybody's back at the same time? Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Just aliens come down, blow this shit up together. You know what I mean? We all go out together singing Michael Jackson or some shit, and it's over. You know what I mean?
We are the world. That is hilarious.
Yes, we can sing "We Are the World" or do. What was that other video where he was singing with the wind? Well, the wind was always blowing on the song.
It's called Earth Song. I actually really like that song. It's called Earth Song.
Let's go out singing Earth Song. Get this bitch over with. You know,
just hold on to the trees and just let it blow us away.
That's it, man. That's it. Because if I gotta fucking go town to town scavenging for food, I'm gonna lose my mind. You know what I'm saying? That's and watching my back for a motherfucker. What's that nigga in Walking Dead who was killing everybody and creating the town with the bat?
The governor.
The governor, yeah.
Negan.
Oh, he's somebody's real name.
Yeah, the governor Negan. I'm not trying to have to deal with no Negans and all that type of stuff. Larry So Focused says, "Wow, yeah, wow is right." And Precious says, "Mills Lane." He salutes Mills Lane. Ashley Brinson says, "Yo to you." And Precious says, "I got a question. Which is better, house pussy?" Your mic, schoolboy, your mic. Precious says, "I got a question. Which is better, house pussy or Section 8 box?" Okay, so he wants us to get on some fuck shit early in the morning. I'm gonna bring in my man Stephon for that, since I don't think I'm not gonna pretend to know your sexual orientation, C-Dot, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna let the fellas chime in on the situation.
I mean, I can always hang with the boys. I mean, I don't know, but I hang with a lot of guys, and what they tell me is the Section 8.
From what your fellas say,
what they tell me is Section 8.
Okay.
Because afterwards they get the juicy juice.
they eat the kids' snacks.
Always.
It sounds like you roll with some bums.
I ain't saying they was the best of guys. I just said I hang with some guys. I ain't saying if they was the best.
Some scumbags eating the kids.
Some of them are.
All right, well, salute to the scumbags. I'm not gonna act like in my day I never ate some kids' snacks. I'm not gonna
Come on your way out the door, you want one of those cold drinks.
I mean, listen. If I'm throwing your mama's back out, I'm gonna need something to drink that's sweet. I'm just saying.
What's your favorite juicy juice though?
Oh, I'm killing them Capri Suns.
Oh, all right.
You know what I'm saying? I squeeze them into the cup though, so they can't tell.
The kids come out and be like, "Oh, you just drinking regular juice?" No, this your fruit snack, nigga. Come here, get out of here.
Stephon, what's your thoughts? We got a question that's taking us a little off our game, but we don't run from the fuck shit here on the morning rant / today's straight up in the morning as well. Your man Pressure wants to know which is better, house pussy or Section 8 box.
There's no thing in this world better than the nectar of poverty. Section 8, sir.
So he's a scumbag then.
Okay. Toast to the scumbag.
No, I'm not a scumbag. I don't eat children's snacks. I'm a grown man.
Okay. So Schoolboy, is your vote Section 8 as well? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely not. When I go home, I don't want to take your roaches with me. I want, them hardwood floors to put my feet down on when I'm trying to, dig in. It's a little bit harder to launch off of the carpet sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That hardwood floor gives you a different type of foundation to move forward, if you know what I'm saying. My bad.
It's a different type of ignorant.
Was that a phone, your ringtone?
No, that was an alarm.
That sounded like an
Oh,
alarm because you saw I was looking too. Like, wait, I'm already woke.
My
Where's this
bad, my bad. I
alarm?
didn't even realize y'all could hear that. But yeah, did y'all hear what I said?
yeah. You said the hardwood floors give you some
Yeah,
type of better traction when.
yeah. You get better leverage on that hardwood floor. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say this in my
How
day.
are you gonna slip off?
Oh nah, I don't slip. Not gonna happen.
I'm gonna say this in my day. I definitely had my scumbag moments. I definitely have indulged in both Section 8 and House, and I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna have to go House because House is usually a little bit more freakier. Like the women who have been sheltered and or a little bit more bougie, you know what I mean? They tend to be a little bit more freakier than,
Oh,
go ahead.
my bad. I thought the question was about in-house in Section 8. I didn't realize it was about somebody with their own house. Okay. All right. That's different.
Yeah, I'm gonna go strong with their own house. So we just took a little detour to get on some fuck shit, sponsored by Pressure. Pressure, I hope you appreciate the fact that we answered your question. And I usually don't ask for people to hit the like button, but Pressure, you're gonna have to go in and hit that like button for us all engaging a whole 5 minutes in what is better, house pussy or Section 8. Larry so focused. Tyler says shaking my head. Exactly. Chris Jones says, what up, boy? Pressure says cats.
Chris,
Pressure says cats, pigeons, and duck sauce. Mills Lane says fried hard. Keenan says we are the world. Virginia Slim says peace and good morning. Good morning to you,
Morning.
Virginia Slim. Salute, good to see you on the check-in. Larry So Focused says, where is Twan at? Well, Twan had some situations with his system. So we're hoping he's getting that squared away right now because we would love Twan's opinion on these stories. Slim says, Section 8, but you can't let your guard down. Shit might be a setup. Word to Nas. That's another good point, too. That's a real good point. One thing I can say about me, being real versatile and being raised in the quote unquote hood and all that shit is that I can switch it up. I can code switch really good. So I find it that I can get along with either or. I just want to pat myself on the back for that. You know what I mean? I could definitely get along with either or. So if it's a setup, I can handle that. I'll get out safe. Lowerville in the league says, I took a whole box of cereal.
Yo, on his way out, yo, just grabbed the
Bruh.
cereal.
It probably was one of them little boxes too. He told
No,
him
please tell me it was a big box. She just took the whole box. She probably had like 5 boxes on top of the fridge.
if it was a
nah,
big, it was guaranteed to be one of them bootleg joints.
Louisville, I actually understand, man. Because if you really went in there and you put it down, gave that high quality thing, you feel like you should be compensated for your work. So go ahead, brother, get your cereal on, man. That's just you probably earned it.
The kids waking up, stomach hurting and shit. Talking about, mommy, my head hurt. I feel weak.
Aki Better says, whoa, ooh. Aki Better also says, schoolboy scared of the buns. You want to answer that, schoolboy?
I'm afraid of honey buns now these days. You know, I want to try to get this weight down. I can't be eating no honey buns. You're right.
Crook says, top of the morning, top of the morning,
Crook.
good brother. Top of the morning. Slim says, schoolboy wears those grip socks from the hospital.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask him.
Yeah.
Chris says, what we talking about right now? We talking about some fuck shit. We had a legitimate story at first. We were talking about China dealing with the bubonic plague and how they basically the bubonic plague, they found a few people who died of the bubonic plague in China, and they started quarantining some cities. And basically, we're just saying we're sick of the shit, man. We're sick of what's going on in China because the last time they quarantined their cities, we still got what they was putting down. You know what I mean? We still caught COVID-19, so it's just not looking good for the rest of 2020. You know. Let me see. Laura Vanna said, "Logic is right. Those women that were sheltered be freaky as hell." Exactly. You know what time it is. Melissa, the one Hines says, "Grand Rising, Grand Rising to you, sister. I hope we ain't scare you off with the craziness already. If you're still in the chat, send us another chat. Let us know you in the building because we went left. We engage all questions. We don't run from them, no matter how crazy they are. Lord Bell in the league says it was the big box.
See, my nigga, he took a big box. He knew what was up. He knew what was up. Take the box and roll.
And he said, when it comes to Section 8, I've always kept my wallet and my valuables in my car.
No, that's not smart, bro. Like niggas will raid your car while you in there. While you in them guts, they in your vehicle, sir. That's just how they do.
You put them in your glove box and lock it.
Because they not gonna look in the glove box and they not gonna rip it open.
They gonna look first. Hey, I don't know what hood y'all be in.
Nah, I mean, I've heard some stories where dudes got their shit broken into while being parked in the right neighborhood, wrong neighborhood, as I like to say. So,
you're supposed to scope out your area before you get there. No way to park your car.
You're all supposed to have your own stuff, so you can like bring her to your house. Why are you going to her dusty house? She got roaches.
You can't bring everybody to your house.
Let's get a hotel room. What are y'all doing?
Nobody got all the answers.
You know what I'm saying? Don't get your car broke into messing with Section 8 pussy, bro. Don't do that to yourself. Please. I'm trying to save these young cats out here, man.
No, it wasn't no Section 8 chick. I had got my car broken into when I just went to the chick. She had lived in the gated community. But you know how little niggas is. They just be going around seeing what they can get into. It ain't just don't keep shit in your car. That's just me.
That's a good point, though. You can be in a so-called good neighborhood and still get your shit broken into as well. You know what I mean? I can definitely hear the bottles cracking, please. The next story comes to us is actually sad as well. So I doubt we're not gonna find any humor in this story, but I definitely have a take on this situation. And this story comes to us from Brooklyn, and the news website is Eyewitness News, and this is about a rape. Livery driver accused of raping 12-year-old passenger in Brooklyn. And let's see if we can get this video to play for us so it can speak for itself. I just want to say, there's nothing funny about rape. We definitely find ways to, find humor in most topics that we speak about on the show. But this is nothing funny about this. But here we go.
A livery cab driver under arrest tonight and accused of the unthinkable.
New York cops now say he raped his passenger, a 12-year-old girl.
Eyewitness News reporter Lucy Yang is live in downtown Brooklyn with the breaking details. Lucy?
Well, Sade and Bill, they took the livery driver to his arraignment just about an hour ago. The charges against him are horrendous. Police say he raped a 12-year-old girl he was supposed to drive home safely. And we want to show you the video. This is 32-year-old Rafael Martinez, a livery driver. Police say the attack happened around 6 o'clock last night in Brooklyn. The 12-year-old victim had gone to her grandmother's to pick up a bike. What should have been a joyful summer evening turned into a nightmare when her parents called a car service to bring her home. They thought that would be safe. Investigators say the driver picked up the young passenger and her new bike. At some point, he allegedly parked the car, went into the back seat, and molested the child. We're told he then drove her and the bike to her house. The victim was taken to Woodhull Hospital for medical care. When police went to the livery service, they found Rafael Martinez working in the office and arrested him without incident. Police say he did not try to flee or fight. Again, a 30-year-old driver has now been arrested and charged with raping a 12-year-old girl in his car.
Shit is sick. Shit is maddening. I'm going to go straight to the woman on the panel and ask, what's your thoughts on the situation?
My concern right away was, why did the parents send a car to pick her up?
Right.
That's my first concern, because I don't know their financial state, what they have going on. If they just couldn't pick her up, they don't have a vehicle. But I would not feel comfortable with my child being in that car unless they can pay for it themselves.
Right.
I get you can track it, but even if you track it, you put your phone down, something happens, somebody call, that couple minutes right there is when he parked the car and allegedly molested her or whatever it is that he done. But I'm just not comfortable with parents sending underage, any kid under 16 in these vehicles by themselves.
Well, here's the thing. So I'm gonna read some more of the article for you, but it was a livery cab. So I don't know if they were working off an app, you know what I mean? But
Okay.
the
I was wondering what the hell a livery was.
right. So it's like, ones you call up, but they said the incident was reported around 6 p.m. Monday after the girl was picked up near Myrtle and Carlton Ave. Police say the victim was visiting her grandmother to pick up the bicycle, and her mother had called the car service to pick her up and bring him home. Somewhere along the ride, we know what happened. The victim told authorities he parked the car, got in the back seat, which we heard. But they go on to say authorities say GPS data recovered from the vehicle corroborated the vehicle stop. So apparently there's GPS in a car, but I don't believe that they were working off an app, because like they said, she had to call to get this cab or whatever. So, but I agree with you. And before I give my take on it, I'm going to let the rest of the panel speak on it. Not Schoolboy, I'm sorry, Stephon, you want to speak on this?
Yeah. I think this is an important thing. This ain't his first rodeo. This isn't his first time. You know what I'm saying? This is him stepping out and being, being what's the word I'm looking for? Like being wild and not careful with it. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't just as a 32-year-old man,
right?
You don't just lose compulsion. You don't lose your composure over a 12-year-old girl. Like that. Right. That's not normal. This is not a one-off situation. There's more stuff. They might want to look into more of his trips or his doings, because I promise you, she's not the first girl.
Right.
He was he was way too comfortable.
Right. Yes. And exactly. That's why I say that's the word I'm looking for. He got comfortable, got a little sloppy, but this is not something you just do just on a one-off. Also, I don't want to blame parents for calling a ride, because I was an Uber driver. I picked up children and took them to their destinations, no problem. It's just you just doing your job, and the children shouldn't have to worry about something. Children and parents shouldn't have to worry about stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? They're paying you. You know what I'm saying? That's being molested by someone you paid. That shouldn't be a thing. You shouldn't have to worry about that.
Man, I don't. I want to say something, but I'm a let Antoinette speak. Antoinette, did you hear the story before you come? First off, good morning, Antoinette.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Did you hear the story that we just played before you hopped on?
Yes, I heard. That's unfortunate, but I'm agree with C-Dot. She's too young to be in an Uber cab by herself.
It wasn't
Seriously.
an Uber. It wasn't even an Uber. It was like a it was a regular old school call the local cab. Yeah.
Even that. No, even that. She's too young to be transporting or moving around by herself. Period. Especially with the snatching of the kids, the sex trafficking and all of that, and especially in New York. So, I mean, I totally disagree. But people have their circumstances. But nowadays, you actually have to be extra cautious. I mean, I was traveling by myself at 10, but that was back in the day. But now, my daughter, she's 13, and she don't go anywhere without me. So I wouldn't agree with that, especially in a big city. And we live in a small town, so I don't agree. But I feel bad that she got, violated. That's really unfortunate. And that's going to leave a lot of, damaging scars for her for the rest of her life. So it's sad.
Yeah, Schoolboy, you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, man, he gonna get that work in jail, man. That's not gonna be you can't explain that paperwork away. You know what I mean? That's really I don't have a whole lot to say on that, because I'm pretty upset about it. Because I have daughters, so I couldn't even imagine. I didn't even feel comfortable putting my kids on the bus with the damn bus driver at their private school.
Right.
So
me too.
To put them in a cab is like,
Yeah, I listen. I hear the points of everybody, but I'm definitely. I mean, I definitely want to blame the parents too as well. Not solely, right? The parents didn't just say rape my child, right? So, but it's just like, yo, how the fuck, you know what I mean? How are you that comfortable? You know what I mean? Just send, especially a regular livery cab. You know, I have friends who used to drive livery cabs. All of them aren't licensed. Some of them aren't even fucking citizens. Some of them don't have paperwork. They could be felons. There's no background check. You know what you got to do to drive a livery cab in New York City in one of those type stations? You got to just pay them to rent the car for a few hours. You know what I'm saying? So, and Stephon, I like you. I've driven Uber before. I've driven Uber in California, and I used to sweat bullets when a white person was sending their child in the car. I used to thank God that there was at least a tracking service, like they can see the ride and you can see that I'm not stopping at anything unless it's red lights. You know what I mean? And I would try my hardest. And you know, as an Uber driver, you know, you get paid by the mile and the minute. So traffic is your friend, right? But I was driving like a madman to get them kids wherever they was going anytime that happened. Get this kid the fuck out of my car. I remember one time it was these two white girls in the back of my car talking about therapy. Talk about scared. Oh my God. These girls talking about going to therapy and all types of shit and how crazy they were. Yo, please get these motherfuckers out of my car. I was trying to be a blimp on the radar in their life. You know what I mean? Like, don't even remember me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking to you. I'm not asking you if you're comfortable. None of this shit. But I still used to even question the parents then, even though they had the service of Uber that they can track and etc. You know what I mean? So I don't.
Oh, my bad. I mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm good.
I was just saying, like, I don't get uncomfortable around children as far as this goes because I would never have malice intent. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you didn't either, and you're just worried about the scandals or what the he say that could come along, and I understand that. I also used to be a bus driver. You know what I'm saying? So for me, being transporting children is not really a big deal. It wasn't a big deal for me. So, but that's just me. Like, I can understand how it could be uncomfortable for somebody who just want to make some extra money real quick. And so I get it, but I just feel like we shouldn't always blame them as if they committed a crime. Like the girl's 12 years old. She knows she was violated. She reported it immediately. So she's old enough to know this is wrong. She just couldn't defend herself. And let's be honest, if it was an adult woman, she knew she may not have been able to defend herself either. So just keep that in context. Let's not blame people for just being normal, living their normal lives. This guy is sick. He took advantage of the situation. It was wrong. So I just don't want to get in the habit of we blaming people for doing things that are normal.
Well, you know what? I appreciate your point. I want to say I've worked with youth as well in the capacity of youth development. Before I did that when I was in California, so it's not that I'm uncomfortable around children. It's just that you put me in an uncomfortable spot to where if this child is crazy, you know what I'm saying, and want to say anything crazy and just want to blame it on, especially a white child, you know what I mean, want to blame it on their Uber driver because they went after they cut school and had sex with their boyfriend or something. You know what I mean? And like that, I was just my mother injected that in me too. Like, yo, don't be around people's kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, she told me that since I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, watch out for other people's kids. So I think that's probably what was in me. But in a more capacity, a professional capacity where I'm a youth advocate, I'm working with it, that's different. But I'm in a car with this child and you just trust me and you don't know me from a hole in the wall. I was never comfortable with that. So I never understood the logic of parents who could just throw their child in a cab with a total stranger who you have no idea where this person's coming from, what their background is. And at least with Uber, there's a background check. With a livery cab, I'm telling you, there's no background check. Like, you can pay somebody to hold their car $60 for the day, and that person who owns that car has a relationship with the cab station, and they'll send whoever. You know what I'm saying? I remember when my homeboys used to do that type of cab work. I would be able to hang out with them while they was doing rides. We would smoke weed in between the rides. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we didn't have no malice intent, but we definitely was on some. We had weapons in the car, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who you sending to pick people up. You know what I'm saying? So a child, like, nah, come on. Like, I know, I get your point. I appreciate your point. And I understand 12 years old, a grown woman might not be able to defend herself as well, but you have a better chance. You know what I mean? 12-year-old, the parent, and I'm sure this parent probably feels really bad too, that they picked up the phone, called this person who ultimately hurt their child, Antoinette, you were trying to say something?
Oh yeah, real quick. I was about to say, this probably wasn't her first time taking one, so the parents, thought they could trust it. It was just that one incident, So yeah, I don't put it 100% on the parents, and definitely not on the child.
I'm not putting it on the parents either, but that's just my fear because I have daughters and I would never do that because I don't care how long it's going to take me or something. Stay where you are. I'm coming to get you, even if I have to catch the lifty or whatever it was called to come to you, to come with you and go back to where I need to go, where we need to go. That's just me as a female, and I want to make sure that I'm protecting my kids at all times. Not really blaming on the parents. I just feel like if you can find another way around it, try to find another way around it. I guess if it's worst case scenario and that's what you have to do, you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
But I actually can speak on this because I had a friend who drove Uber and he ended up getting charged for raping someone. They did the background check. They did all that. When I saw that pop up on the news, I was disgusted. I couldn't believe it because I knew him personally. And he was engaged. He has daughters. And when I saw that, it was like, you never know who's capable of what.
Wow. Look at that. Look at that. So just to speak really quick to that, do you think he was guilty or what do you think?
Honestly, yes, because of how the story came about. But in my mind, I still couldn't wrap my head around it because I knew him. Like, I worked with him. I knew him personally. I knew his children. It is to this day, he went to jail. He got out, and I forgot that I never deleted him from my Facebook. And then he started posting pictures like nothing was wrong. And I was like, bro, you gotta be kidding me. Like, you're crazy. Something is really wrong with you if you felt like you had to go when you have his wife was pregnant at the time. And it's like, look at all this hurt that you have endured on everybody.
Well, you know what? I know one thing we can all agree on is that fuck these child rapists. Fuck these rapists in general. And fuck this guy. And whatever happens to him. And the way they said they caught him, I agree with Steph. I think it was Steph who said this, that he was way too comfortable. But
he didn't run.
He didn't run and none of that. And it couldn't have been his first time. They definitely need to open the books and see, if any other people were victims of this man. But at the same time, when you mention him not running, it puts me in a train of thought of this man wanted to end his life or something. Like he has to hate himself and or his life to just do, like, you think you're not going to get caught even when you speak of the guy you knew. Like, you're driving Uber and you're fucking raping people. Like, not that there's a rape etiquette, but like, nigga, you just want to get caught at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you just want to, ruin somebody else's life at the same time is what it makes me think. Like, it can't be there's no logic for rapists, but you can't have any, this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But we're going to go into the next story. But before we do that, we're going to pull up your man, J-Dub.
Amazing. What's going on?
What's going on,
boy?
Not to it.
So what's up?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Schoolboy. Schoolboy must have got 3 motherfucking shirts. I see that in that shirt every other week. But good to see you. And who wear a blue undershirt? What the fuck? Proper undershirt is white or black. You know that, right? But it just looks crazy, my nigga. All right. And then white got dressed you this morning. You put a real shirt as an undershirt. Look like that's what you did. That's a Nike real shirt, t-shirt, not no undershirt. All right.
Okay. J Doug with the
Not
jokes.
I'm just
Top of the morning.
observing.
Okay.
All right.
Keep them coming.
If there's any people out there with clothing companies in the chat or anybody comes across this, we are looking for sponsors. How about that? Let's just say that.
Oh, now you want to button it up. You should have hit that shirt with a lint brush. That bitch off black.
Oh my
off white, off black.
I just moved.
That's that new version.
I just
That's
moved.
Virgil off black. All right.
Trying to figure out where all my clothes are.
I'm trying to figure out where all your clothes are. I done seen you with that shirt 3 times on this show.
That's not true. That's not true.
Well, I'm about to go pull up some receipts.
Okay. Hey, look, we can't shop nowadays in COVID as easy or do. I mean, I don't know. All right, look, let's go to some of these comments before we move on to the next topic. And thank you for the comic relief because that last story was very grim. Melissa says, I'm solid, 100, thanks. Well, that's what's up. Thank you. And I seen that you actually shared the stream, Melissa. Thank you for that. We appreciate you here. Laurville says, I hope they F him in jail, real talk.
Oh, Lord.
Well, you know, I'm going to say this. If he dies, he dies. You know what I mean? Word. Yeah, exactly. Crook says, nah, kill him. Rape should be an automatic death sentence. Right. Yeah. Samantha says, morning. I see you, C. Dot. And then she says, horrible in reference to the story. Melissa says she was too young to be in a taxi. My thoughts exactly. Then she also goes, exactly 100. Girl or boy, that's a kid. And Samantha says, and he went back to work. Oh, he's done this before. Lock him up, throw away the keys. He definitely will get the same done. Yeah, something's definitely going to happen to that man. They definitely don't take, they definitely are not easy on rapists and or child rapists in prison. Lloyd Vell in the league says, all people who rape children should be castrated, in my opinion. I agree with you there. I can't be mad at that, you know. Mills Lane says, as a parent, if you feel comfortable with children traveling alone, provide them with a phone and be on it with them.
Yeah, that would be smart to talk to them the whole ride.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've seen people do that with adults. So why not with children? You know what I mean?
So real quick, did somebody let their child ride in a taxi by themselves and they end up getting raped? That's what y'all talking about?
That's exactly what happened.
It was a white people or was it black people?
I don't know the race of the
matter.
Oh, it matters.
I don't know the race of the girl who got raped, but the dude who did it was of Hispanic descent.
All right, I don't want to go too far back. Y'all go ahead.
All right, Redemption says salute to you. Good to see you in the chat, Union Rep. Sleazy Aki, salute to you. I got your donation. Thank you, Sleazy Aki. Says I put my son in the Uber all the time. He's 12. Well, listen, man. Like I said, I think an Uber is a little different. However, you can track it. However, like C-Dot said, she has a friend who was driving Uber. Right. Raped somebody. So,
background check and all.
Yeah. So Precious said, damn, I missed it. This Section 8 box win. You know what, Pressure? We spoke about it for like 5 minutes. So if you missed it, you're gonna have to go on and catch the rebroadcast. We let you take us off our game. We was talking about some serious shit. We was talking about the bubonic plague. And then we did a whole expose type of panel discussion on Section 8 box versus home box. But what I will give you is this. J Doug, do you have an answer? What would you prefer? Section 8 box or a woman with a home?
Ooh, that's a hard one. It really don't matter what I'm trying to do with her. I'm trying to smash.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah. We're talking about the
I'm
box.
I'm gonna take the woman with the home. You know what I mean? Because I need somewhere to stay. Yeah, home. Fucking Section 8. Because Section 8, you can't move your stuff in. You know what I mean? You got to keep your stuff in the trunk just in case the apartment people come inspect. So if she got her own place, I can actually bring a hoe over bag. God. You know what I mean? A little hoe over bag. I could bring that in and possibly finagle me a room or something. So it would be home for me if I had a preference. Yeah, I'm always thinking about pimping. You know what I mean?
I can't.
I can't do nothing with no Section A. That means Section A means you must be having a lot of kids too. So nah, I'm
There ain't
good.
no space for you.
You see what I mean? I need me somebody with a garage. You feel me? Park my car just in case somebody ride by your crib. I don't want to be all out there in the open. So every nigga you done let come by the Section A apartment, see my damn car parked out in the parking lot, get my shit keyed up and tires flattened. No, I'm good.
That's some good critical thinking, J Dog. I'm gonna say that because we definitely did speak about people getting their cars broken into and all that. So you raised some valid points.
Thank you, sir.
Wendy Blue Money Wendy says morning. Good morning to you. Redemption Song 76 says that's a legit fit, Ja. Thank you. I really was nervous. Anytime somebody, when I did drive Uber, have their child in my Pressure says white children especially have zero accountability, but our generation was publicly titled super predators, the Clintons. That's a fact.
Yep.
Yep. Nina Pink says, morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Nina. Thanks for coming back. Pressure says, throw the nigga in a casket. Facts. Kelso says, so we get into the jokes now. We get into the part of the comments that came in after the jokes. Thank you. Kelso says, the blue undershirt is nuts. Respect.
That shit look crazy, man. Come on, you must have went and just took that shit off. You must have just turned the camera off and took that shit off. I hope you did. You must have seen that comment. You know what I mean? So black people do self-correct sometimes. All right.
Redemption Soul 76 says, good morning to you, sis. Kelso says, this nigga put his workout clothes over his
So he always ready to hoop. I see.
Over his hooping clothes. Pay attention.
Ooh, that's that nigga who put his school clothes under his pajamas before he go to bed, just in case he wake up late. I feel you.
Pressure says, because he has an instinct that is warped and knows he deserves punishment for his fetish/crime. So he's saying that the guy didn't put up a fight because he basically knew he was wrong and he was waiting for his punishment. That's a good point. And then Redemption says, damn, J Doug, and then they laughing. They're laughing at the shirt jokes. And Christopher Cook says off black. Precious says Ivan Drago. Drake Sleazyaki is laughing as well. Wendy says, oh, J Doug got Section 8 experience. Wendy,
I got Section 8 experience, public housing experience, all that.
I think we all got Section
low income housing. I know all about the programs. If I get with a bitch, I'll help you get on the program. I'm like an advisor for welfare in that way. Like, you know where the office at? Yes, I know people in the office. I'll put you up and get your paperwork through. You'll be in a place to stay. We'll be in a place to stay in less than a couple months. You know what I mean?
With some food stamps.
I get you with some stamps. Shoot, you had your stamp that day. I'll put you in his homeless and get you stamped that same day. No big deal. You get them stamps. That's nothing. Do you need some stamps? You get some stamps right now. What you need?
J-Doug is an advocate. Let's just say that.
Yes.
I think all men has experienced some Section 8 box in their life. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think we all have at least once. Kelso says J Doug is in rare form this morning. I'm here for it. Yo, Kelso, you watch it live in Point. You know what time it is. And I think as time goes by, we're just gonna get more looser, and things are gonna get a little crazy. There's a lot of classic moments though. For anybody who doesn't watch live and on point or haven't watched all of the episodes of the Morning Rant, if you go back and watch the archive shows, there are a lot of classic moments. Redemption Song says same in VA, Keenan. Kelso says, why would you chance anything happen to your 12-year-old, Lord forbid, by placing them in an Uber with a stranger? Is it ever that serious?
And that's where I was with it. Like, it's never that serious. And
Keenan Kong is laughing, said J Doug is everything he despises.
Yo, damn. I like it though. I love it. All right.
So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic. And the next topic, to speak of pedophiles, we're gonna go to your boy. Throw the sign up, J Doug. Show us the sign. Show us the picture that you have in your studio.
Oh, talk about R. Kelly.
Yeah.
My nigga on the
Look, arm's length away. R. Kelly.
Bing, bing, bing. TP2.
That was
He
actually
had
a
that
really
on
good
deck.
album.
This was the best
Yeah,
album. Hit hard from
It
the
was.
back.
He didn't even
was.
have to lean over to grab it. It
No.
was like
Cause
just,
I'm supporting R. Kelly, sir.
I got
Yes.
pregnant off that album.
Ooh,
I'm supporting a pedophile.
I lost
Yeah.
my virginity to R. Kelly.
You had a pedophile T-shirt look like on under your clothes. That was a suspect move yourself.
Oh my god!
How was that a pedophile T-shirt? That
was
doesn't
just
even make
that's-
sense.
it's weird,
It's only
though.
funny because it's so stupid.
It's weird though. That's what I'm saying. It's just weird. If I
You look weird. If I saw three people like you
I would
outside,
grab my kids extra tight. If I see the motherfucker come in the house with a blue T-shirt under his clothes,
Oh my
I'm
God.
holding my kids extra close to me. Yes. I don't know what the fuck you capable of. You don't even know if you supposed to wear a white or black T-shirt under your clothes. So I don't know what you're capable of. So yes, I would grab my kids extra tight. Because I don't know what you coming with the game with. You come with blue T-shirts under your clothes. I don't know what's next.
Lord.
Yes.
All right, let's go to this story.
So if I see three of you outside of a gas station, I'm like, no, I don't have $1. I need some money.
Of course.
I need some money. Give me $1. Can I borrow 50 cents? The hell? Let me get a Lucy, bro.
Lucy.
50 Cent.
Oh, man. All right, so this comes to us from Associated Press. Prosecutors charged 3 with threatening women in R. Kelly's case. So R. Kelly apparently has goons out there, and they're threatening women in the R. Kelly's case, in his case. So I'm gonna read some of this article. It goes on to say, federal prosecutors announced charges Wednesday against 3 men accused of threatening and intimidating women who have accused R&B singer R. Kelly of abuse, including one man suspected of setting fire to a vehicle in Florida. J. Doug?
Salute. I know your business, R. Kelly. Shit, no big deal.
Is that one of your niggas is setting fire to their cars in Florida? I don't know.
Ooh, R. Kelly, I need a job. So I heard R. Kelly is hiding 1.2 million. So if you need me to come check a couple niggas in Florida for him, shoot, just send me about a rack. I'm cheap.
So speaking of money, a longtime friend of the indicted singer offered to pay a victim $500,000 to keep her from cooperating in Kelly's prosecution. Authorities said, while a manager and advisor of Kelly threatened to release sexual explicit photographs of a woman who sued Kelly. A Kelly defense attorney said he had no involvement whatsoever in any attempt to silence witnesses. He also attempted to intimidate, and he also hasn't attempted to intimidate anyone or encourage anyone else to do so. Attorney Steve Greenberg said on Twitter, the Grammy Award-winning musician has pleaded not guilty to dozens of state and federal sexual misconduct charges in Illinois, Minnesota, and New York. And they go on to talk about the charges and which we know about. And so basically, let me see. They go on to say these men charged today allegedly have shown that there is no line they will not cross to help Kelly avoid the consequences of his alleged crimes, even if it means re-victimizing his accusers. Peter Fitzhugh, special agent in charge of Homeland Security investigations in New York, said in a statement. So I'm not going to read the whole article, but what's your thoughts on R. Kelly sicking the goons, or allegedly sicking the goons, because they're saying he had nothing to do with it, on his victims?
Where you get this money from?
Say it again?
Where you get this money from? I thought he was broke.
Royalties. R. Kelly is still popping.
Me too.
They said that man was broke. Where you getting his money from?
R. Kelly can. I'm pretty sure R. Kelly can come up with some dollars. Now R. Kelly broke by our standards. He's not broke.
Oh,
when you're dealing with
well, that's what the news said. He was broke.
Right. You see how Epstein had all that money, and people are like, "How did he get all that money?" Like R. Kelly probably has people feeding him money too, making sure he all right. He ain't gonna say their name, this, that, and the third.
Hey, low key, R. Kelly may be in prison ghostwriting for niggas and still getting a bag.
Okay, so y'all all raised good points, but more on the actual topic. Schoolboy, we'll start. Well, C-Dot, let's start with you. How do you feel about him? People threatening people on his behalf.
Well, I watched the Surviving R. Kelly series, and I believe that he would do that. He got the goons. He wants this to just go away. It's like, yo, just do your time and get it over with. You like you said, there's still some money coming in from royalties and things of that nature. But at this point, it's gotten so far. Do you really have to threaten these people? They're going to keep speaking up. They're going to keep coming out the weeds, and somebody's going to keep coming. He sees how all these cases have been. It's never ending. Just do your time. Don't threaten the people because you're making it worse for yourself.
Schoolboy, let's go to you.
I'm not a fan of R. Kelly. I've been hearing for a long time that he's had these issues. Even people who are native to Chicago say that this was his MO. So I'm inclined to believe people who say that he's a predator, and I'm not going to support him. I really think he should sit in jail. He shouldn't be getting out. I don't think that we should be supporting stuff like this in our communities at all. I couldn't understand why people were still going to his concerts and stuff like that. Like, I've been stealing all kind of music since Napster. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to pull money out of my pocket to put it in R. Kelly's pocket.
More specific to the people who are willing to go out there and bang for him, though. Like, how do you feel about those people?
All of us aren't blessed to have the ability to think critically and common sense and stuff like that. Like, common sense is just like, okay, that person's a pedophile. Let's not have them around. Let's not support that person.
Well, let's not act like black people don't support all type of degeneracy in their entertainment. We support ex-drug dealers. We support ex-murderers. We support the robbers, the killers. As long as they got a good record, we'll dance to it. So let's not take no more.
Well, you'll dance to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, culturally, it's not the same. So
you like Jay-Z?
I'm not going to dance to everybody's music, and I don't just listen to stuff. Huh?
You dance to Jay-Z?
No, I don't. I don't even dance. So that's the thing. I'm not about to be out here putting money in this man's pockets just because everybody thinks he's popular and cool. That's not what I'm gonna do.
Well, we don't have any evidence. That's why we were still supporting him, sir. Everything else was just hearsay from the haters, possibly.
Who you talking about? R. Kelly?
Yes.
You're talking about R. Kelly, the one who we had the videotape of doing what was done?
He said that he wasn't convicted for that. He was let go.
So
he was innocent, sir.
Okay, so
he said on one of his tracks, 18 and older, 16 and younger, on one of his earlier albums, and one of those fake raps that he used to do in the middle of the songs. He said 18 and older, 16 and younger. This nigga was telling us from day one.
And how is R. Kelly ghostwriting? He don't know how, and he's illiterate. Isn't he illiterate?
He's saying he probably don't sit there and write. He probably did sing and remember it. Yeah.
You think people are in jail writing? Let me hear it, R. Kelly. Okay. You think that's what's happening?
It's possible. He might be writing some freaky ass shit.
If you're a grown man reading at an elementary level, that's considered illiterate. Y'all know that. Like, it's not like you can't read nothing. It's just you just read like Sally goes to the store.
So he probably don't know nothing about statutory rape. He like, what's that?
Statutory.
Well, he in jail.
Ain't no statutes of me.
He in jail for I don't know if he locked up now for messing with children, is he?
Yeah, yes. But the topic at hand is the goons. The goons.
Right. All right. So with the goons, man, again, people who are out here taking that man's money to do his bidding, or taking his friends' money to do, like, there's some weirdos. You have to class them with R. Kelly. You have to. Like, it is what it is.
Y'all want to see R. Kelly do time too bad. I don't think he's doing no time.
Yes.
That's
you definitely got to be a special type of stupid to still be doing this man's biddings. But Steph, what's your thoughts, man? The goon.
Has everybody win already?
Yeah. Well, no. I'm trying to go in the aesthetically line of Schoolboy, you, and J. Doug, and Antoinette. So,
I feel like it's propaganda, man. Like, one minute, my nigga broke. He can't get out on bail. He can't pay for his lawyers. Next minute, he bribing bitches with $500,000. it don't make sense, man. It's all propaganda. Don't fall for it, man. It's just more things y'all trying to do. Not y'all particularly. The media trying to do to take this man image, man. This man, listen, you need to clear up this foolishness, man. He ain't doing none of this. He behind bars. Now he got goons, car burning goons down here in Florida. Come on, man. That's ridiculous. The man was canceled for a whole year. Now everybody's supporting him and they doing his biddings. Come on, man. Y'all look, and another thing, Schoolboy, I want to talk about what you said. Talking about something. You got to be a special type of evil to do his bidding.
I said special type.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Okay.
And I said special type of stupid.
Okay. All right. Well, like, no, you have to be a special type of broke. You just have to be broke. Henchmen, that's what they do. They do dirty work for anybody who has they have a fee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A good henchman don't ask no questions. He just do his job.
Right.
But they're gonna be doing that shit on credit. So that's I don't know. J Doug.
They're not doing it though. Oh, I'm just saying they're not doing it. It's not real.
So you think these three men are just innocent guys who just got picked up and blamed with this?
Listen, we in Florida, niggas is crazy. They just you know what, we finna handle R. Kelly shit for him because that's my nigga.
Oh, GP.
Right. Like, nah, man, I heard my first daughter to R. Kelly. Yeah. No, I feel that nigga need to be free. It's Florida, baby. We crazy.
Yeah, Florida is a special kind down there.
All right. J Doug.
It is.
You know, I would like to see my guy R. Kelly free. I'm happy he's getting active out into these streets. He's moving money around. He's hiring niggas right now during the coronavirus. That is beneficial. A lot of people is out of work. So my niggas hired people from behind bars to go out and, just give a couple smoke signals to a couple people. You'll tighten up or get took out. So I have no problem with what R. Kelly doing. You know what I mean? I don't want him to get thrown away like Bill Cosby or railroaded like Bill Cosby. And this is why I do push for the black community so we can have our own justice system within. And so we stop giving him over to white people because y'all love white people when they doing what y'all want him to do. But then when he's not what y'all want to do, y'all don't love him. You know what I mean? So I don't get that either.
So which one is it? Is he innocent or is he guilty?
It don't even matter. He's R. Kelly. Oh, you know what I mean? He's an American icon. You don't get no better than R. Kelly. That's like going and lock up fucking Michael Jordan. He's the best R&B singer to ever fucking touch a mic. What are he doing in fucking jail?
All right, I can respect you still listening to his music.
No, he's the greatest to ever touch a mic.
I hear you. So that's why I'm saying, speaking of the mic, the music he recorded on that mic, I can respect you still listening to his music, but to say he's above the law is ridiculous.
Well, you got white people that's out here. Bill Clinton's above the law.
Shouldn't be.
But we should have our picks of people that we put above the law at the black community. And R. Kelly, Michael Jordan, people like that should definitely be above the law. Yes.
I think Bill Clinton will get his
day. As long
as
they ain't murdering nobody.
As long as this speaking of murder, as long as this lady who they just got don't get murdered, hopefully Clintons will get their day in court as well. Well, Antoinette, your thoughts?
Okay, well, I'm sorry. The garbage truck is coming down. Sorry. As far as the three guys, putting that hit out on somebody, on the witnesses. I'm sorry?
I said it's really faint, so you're good.
Hello?
You're good. I said it's really faint, so you're good.
Oh, okay. The garbage truck. Okay. As far as the hit on they put out with the three guys, I don't know. It's, like I said, they put a lot of shit on the news. I don't even know what to believe. Well, I don't believe the news. I started feeling I was on a R. Kelly hate train for a while until I found out more pedophiles are doing worse things to younger children. Those chicks, they volunteered and wanted to be there, even though he did some fuck shit with them. But there's worse out there, stealing babies, killing them, eating them, and all that. R. Kelly wasn't on that type of time. So I'm not going to hate him as much like I used to. But the hate could happen, could not happen. If it's on the news, I really don't believe it. They rouse some shit up. I don't even know why they still bringing them up unless they're going to free them or not, because there's bigger fish to fry. So as far as that, I don't know. It could be a hit, but it may not.
I can appreciate your point when you say a lot of those girls were, volunteers, and versus some of the stuff that's happening with women getting kidnapped out there, and there are a lot of crazier things happening. So I can appreciate that point. I don't think he should be above the law. I think R. Kelly, if he did that shit, he got caught and he put himself on tape on this dumb shit. It's like, yo, do your fucking time, my nigga. You put yourself on tape doing this dumb shit, but just do your time. Just leave it. Yeah. And you got.
How much time y'all think R. Kelly should do though?
That's a good question.
Yeah, shut up.
How many women?
I mean,
Go ahead, schoolboy.
I was about to say he's been on. We've had a record of him doing this since the early 90s.
Allegedly, now we don't got no.
This is 20 years later.
Ain't no alleged.
He married Aaliyah. She was 15.
Let me say this, schoolboy. He's on trial for old videos from the 90s. So you saying he's been doing it throughout the years? There's no history that he's been still doing it. There's no evidence saying he's still be doing it.
Okay, so hold on. When we were talking about the taxi driver, he was way too comfortable, so he had to be doing that. There were a lot of other victims. Now when we're talking about R. Kelly, there's no evidence. Get the fuck out of here. Like, are y'all serious?
And by the way, Aaliyah mama was allowing him to do that with Aaliyah, and he was smashing Aaliyah mama. It came out too. So
does that resolve him of his responsibility?
Yes. Because once he's a man. If the mama allowing it, fuck it. If the mama don't, I can't care more than the motherfucker that had you.
Like, no, honestly,
that's some weirdos, man. That's some weirdo shit. That's that Florida shit.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Let's not talk at the same time. Stephon, go ahead.
No, I hear what you're saying, schoolboy. But listen, literally, when you're 15 years old, you don't have consent, correct? I think we all know that. But the person who gives consent is your parents. So once your parents give consent, there's no crime here.
Ouch.
There you go, schoolboy. Smoke on that.
Know.
So did he use her? Hold on. Did he use her actual name when they got married, or did he try to hide and conceal what their identities were?
It don't matter if the parent consented.
They tried to hide it from haters like you.
I think that's a valid point. If the
I got a question.
Go ahead.
All right. So I seen a documentary. They was trying to stop child sex trafficking. They was in, I think, the Philippines, but it was these two women that they were selling their children. So she was giving consent to these men to come and just have sex with babies just as young as 6 months. Now, that's a parent. She had them. She gave consent. So that's not legal?
In that case, that's totally wrong.
It's minor.
Yeah, you know what? It's both minors.
Right. So you can't say because the mom. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, you're right. You got a valid point as well. They almost had me.
The
R. Kellyites almost had me.
No, listen. R. Kelly didn't traffic nobody. He didn't traffic nobody. He wasn't no 6-month-old. This was a 15, 16-year-old who was gonna be getting her shit smashed in anyway by some young broke nigga, some other child. So it's no big deal, you know what I mean? Just a penis in your vagina, whatever. Let's move on.
It's a grown man's penis in a minor's vagina.
With the consent of the mother. And he had the mother vagina too. So
pay attention. These are the people that was trying to find ways to justify this shit 200 years ago. These are the same arguments that were happening a long time ago. And now we have the same arguments today. Oh, well, the parents, her mama said I could do it, so I did it. What?
Let me address the Antoinette's point about the baby. That was she was charging them a fee. That's prostitution. You know what I'm saying? That's you're prostituting a minor. That's a totally different crime.
I mean, even condoning it is crazy. You know what I mean? The only thing I could say, I'm reluctant to say it, but the only thing I could say in the defense of your point versus the women that were prostituting the babies or giving the babies out is that once women, I mean, not mentally, but once women are having periods and things like that, you know, historically they've been looked at as women. You know what I mean? Because they can give birth and all of that. So,
all right, John, no, you can't use that one. Yeah,
and I don't agree with that either.
Said,
I mean, if I say historically, because those are the years when they were able to get married up until more recent years, and things like that. They were able to marry at 15 back in
yeah, that's back in the day. There's a lot more rules now, and then on top of it, you trying to say, okay, well, that was prostitution. So you telling me that Aaliyah wasn't getting any money from him? Her mother wasn't getting any money from him?
No.
Yes, they was. Yes, they were.
They was getting royalties that they earned from
And the other
music.
girl's
They wasn't
parents.
getting money from him from just having sex. They were getting money for
he
money
was
they
paying
worked
for
for.
it.
No, he was no, they was working for
Thank
money
you.
with they was making money together. Okay. And by the way, we always talk about a woman's right to choose. When it's time to kill the baby in the womb, she got the right to choose. But if she decide that she want to give her daughter to a grown-ass man, all of a sudden she ain't capable to choose. Ain't that amazing? So when it's time to kill a motherfucker, it's okay. Let her choose. But when it's time to let somebody put their penis in her vagina, now,
Let her
she can't
choose.
choose.
Let her
She
choose who go
can't
in
make
and
that
out her
decision
butt.
for her daughter. But she could have made the decision not even bring her on earth to begin with. It's too much dumb stuff going on in America. That's why I don't pay attention to none of it.
Let her choose who
Right.
can go in and out her pussy. How about
I think everybody raised good points, and I just want to say I was being objective and trying to let out all of this information with it. But I do stand firmly on the belief that R. Kelly should do his time. Shouldn't fuck with underage women. They're not old enough to make those decisions, and to do so does make you a predator, in my opinion. To give my opinion last, I'm going to read some of these comments. And my man Keenan Khan says, I still fucks with Kels. Sue me. We can't judge you if you still like his music, man. But we do. I think my point is that he should do his time. Louisville in the league is laughing. Kelso says, 3 knocks at my door, baby. Trench coat hit the floor, my baby. Sir Rock.
I'm about to go there, my baby. That was that shit.
Kelso says, Schoolboy got that fit in his son's school, lost and found bin.
That's an old uniform from 2019, last year, pre-corona. So you know it's good. That bitch probably say husky. Grown ass men's shirt don't supposed to say husky, right? It's 2X and extra large. That nigga shirt say husky.
Redemption song 76 says, I thought he was broke. They thugging for free. Yeah, that's my point. It does seem like, even if they were thugging for free, I just think that they made up their mind a thug for Kelly, which is what we were questioning. Kelso says, get your car burnt behind bars money is different. Louisville says, R. Kelly says he is broke, but definitely has a lot of money to pay off people who think about it. Archie Better says, free R. Kelly, free Suge Knight, and free Bill Cosby.
I'm with you on everyone except Suge Knight. Suge Knight did that shit. Suge did that shit. And Suge said
but Suge Knight said niggas had a gun though. He said niggas had a gun. That's why he ran over.
But the nigga he ran over wasn't the person who had the gun on.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck. Once I see a gun, I'm just hitting the gas.
But you hit somebody. You got to be held responsible. So
I hit somebody. Somebody got hit.
I'll pose the question back to you, but for how long?
He ran over him.
I don't know. But you got to serve your time. He ain't been in there that long. It's been 2 years?
Shit, it's been like 5 years.
Brandy killed somebody with a car. She free?
Yep.
Free and Caitlyn Jenner killed somebody with a car. And she free.
I'm about to say, who is Caitlyn? Oh,
Bruce.
Oh, never.
The reason he free is because he switched his sex.
Hold on.
That nigga threatened the government, said, y'all send me to a man jail. I'm cutting off my penis before I go in. And I'm gonna really get shit popping in there.
It's real spicy.
City on Caitlyn.
Oh my God.
All right, let's go to the rest of these comments. Kelso says broke. For R. Kelly is 90% of people rich. You file bankruptcy and claim broke, so you don't have to pay lawsuits. Cash and credit is always available, though. Redemption Song 76 says, trust the government, has forensic accountants on this. Kelso says, trust the government isn't wasting forensic accountants on time on R. Kelly. And Redemption says, doubt that highly. Keenan says, bear share. And it also says LimeWire. Keenan says good one. Lena Pink says let's go J Doug. And it's then Lorville says, Ja, the song was called I Like the Crotch on You. See, I was the only one who heard this shit. This nigga said 18 and over, 16 and younger. I think that was on his first fucking album, this man.
I like the crouch on you.
The crotch on you, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Crouch.
That's some literate shit, man.
That was
Think
before
about it,
wet ass
he is
pussy.
literate.
That's how you used to talk. Now they just come out with it, wet ass pussy. You know what I mean? I like the crotch on you. They done up it a little bit. Get some of that wop.
Kelso says all these people bad mouthing R. Kelly after watching his videos are the sickest. Why aren't people so proud to admit that they watch alleged child porn? Answer me that.
You. I never could find it.
I never watched it. Is anybody else watched it on here?
No, I actually haven't.
Watch what?
The R. Kelly tape.
Nah, not what. Actually, I saw a part of it at a barbershop in Atlanta.
I saw snippets.
Yeah, but I was just like, yeah, nah, I'm good.
I ain't see the part with him peeing, but I did see him eating somebody's booty like groceries.
Oh, so you do admit that he saw a video of this man eating somebody's booty, and that was a 15-year-old.
Porn. That wasn't no 15-year-old. It was on Pornhub, and he had the lady in the chair. It wasn't them good position. I think it was like in a barber chair. He had her legs behind her ankles, and he was on
I did.
You seen that one?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh yeah, he was getting it in, wasn't he?
Okay, so I
saw that.
Want to play.
Yeah, I did.
I don't want
to play that.
I don't want the play-by-play on the child pornography.
It wasn't child pornography. This was a grown woman in this video, sir.
I didn't see the video, but I do remember going into the barbershop and the nigga sitting outside selling CDs. Yo, I got that R. Kelly video. I remember that.
Yo, niggas is ruthless selling that shit. Anyway, Kelso says niggas forgot R. Kelly from Chicago. Shout out to the GD folks, the GDs who put whose kids he put through school. Okay, sorry, I read that. Shout out to the GDs whose kids he put through school. Yeah, shout out to the growth and development homies out there. Shout out to all the growth and development and the and even the people from the People's Nation. So maybe
that's gangster disciples.
Growth and development, sir. So maybe maybe Kells is part of the folk nation as well, for all we know. I remember he was wearing all types of bandanas in that one video. Who knows? But if he put some kids through school, I'll salute to him for that. Keenan says, Kelso, I watched it, but I was like 7. When you move the mic, bro, it comes through the mic. Bad. Kelso says, I watched it, but I was like 17, 18 at the time. So he's saying he was young enough to watch it. Okay. Ray J sent the booty gang on. Lorville says Ray J sent the booty gang on Fab. Now R. Kelly sent 2 old niggas with black collar shirts and blue.
I hate all of you equally. I hate all of you.
Oh man! All right, so yeah, and let's not forget Chris Stokes sent some alleged bloods at Raz B as well. Let's not forget about that to recap his statement of getting molested by his cousin Chris. Really? Yeah, yeah. They had him. They pressed him. I think it was on Hollywood Boulevard somewhere, and you just seen a bunch of shadows behind. Mm-hmm. They had him on camera, and he was looking scared as shit. Talking about I didn't. What I said wasn't true. You know, yeah. Yeah, and then Keenan Kong says they doing it because their freedom is tied into. So that's a good point. Maybe they'll be next. If R. Kelly gets charged, maybe they'll get charged next. That's a good point. Aki Better says free Suge Knight again. Redemption says, given the fact that he paid off the previous accusers, the prosecution is working overtime to circumvent any fuckery. And Nina Pink says exactly. Aki Better gives us another free R. Kelly. Kelso says, preach, King. I don't know which one of the kings he's speaking to. Kelso says, all he did was tour the country with ladies whose parents handed them over to him. Yeah, you know, we definitely got to talk about the parents in this situation. And the next stories we talk about moving forward, we're going to talk about more about some parents moving forward. Nina Pink says, plus these 3 girls was with the shits when he had the bag and their families. Come on. And Aki Betta says their parents sacrificed them. I have to agree with that. And Aki Betta says he married her because she was pregnant.
I heard that.
Redemption Song says, right, schoolboy. Aki Betta says he married her in Florida. Laugh out loud. Kelso says every person who was in the R. Kelly doc saying they saw the alleged video should be brought in on child porn charges. Facts. Aki Betta says that's a fact as well. Aki Betta says soul singers from the 60s was hitting teens. They definitely were. They definitely were hitting teens. And
didn't they say Martin Luther King was hitting some underage women?
I don't know about that. Maybe we have to do a little research.
Yep.
Yeah, we have to do a little research on the Martin Luther.
It wasn't no big deal back then. That's what I was saying. They done made everything such a big deal. What's the difference between 16 and 18, really?
A lot, sir. A lot.
No, but I'm just talking about
Didn't
really.
Marley get some?
You would know. Your mindset at 16 is no different than your mindset at 18.
It is. It's completely different.
Okay.
Well, female, maybe not a male.
Aki Betta says soul singers from the 70s was hitting teens. Singers from the 80s were hitting teens.
Wasn't Rick James running around with Tina Marie when she was underage?
Well, we spoke about a lot on the show. We even spoke about Prince moving a teenager in his home.
Yeah, Prince had a teenager up in his home.
But I don't think when we bring up the argument, okay, this one person did it, so the next person, I don't think that's an argument for people being able to do it.
It's no big deal.
The shit has to stop.
Ding, ding, ding.
The shit has to stop. Keenan Kong, aren't all the girls he was messing with the legal age of consent? No. Lord Velna says parents in the Dominican Republic sell their kids off, aka prostitute their kids off. That's fucked up. Jason Sheffy says, yeah, it doesn't matter if they was going to be smashing someone anyway. The adult in the situation is still wrong. Thank you, Jason. Aki Betta says, Pac, R. Kelly, MJ, they are trying to destroy our heroes. Well, I don't think our heroes should be musicians. I think in some cases we have musicians who have powerful messages, but we should stop glorifying people who sing Step in the Name of Love. R. Kelly.
Hey, whoa.
No, don't just try to throw that in there and just minimize what R. Kelly. R. Kelly said he believed I can fly.
And that was my next point.
The world's greatest. R. Kelly got them joints now. Come
on. Wait. And I wish.
Hold
on. And that was my next point. I Believe I Can Fly was never a gospel song, Christian.
Yes, it is.
I never understood
about faith.
I never understood that shit. That was about in Space Jam, the nigga jumping up in the air and arm reaching for a slam dunk. That's what that was about. And then
faith.
They said, oh my God, I believe I can fly. That shit ain't got nothing to do with Jesus, white or black. That shit ain't got nothing to do with nothing said in the Bible. And then Christians just took that shit and ran with it. They
take a lot of stuff and just run with it.
Because we barely at Christians, we barely get good gospel music. So if we say anything remotely close to God, and we like, oh, yo, that's us.
So we want to attack the church, but not attack the thousands of people that played that at their graduation. Oh, yes. Okay. All right. Very convenient because y'all was walking down. Y'all were walking.
That's not at mine.
Y'all
not me.
Let me answer that.
I did.
Let me answer that. And my answer is yes. How is gospel music is supposed to be about the message of God and the good word? How the graduation, you could play anything. You could play fucking Lean on Me, whatever. Niggas is graduating. Gospel music is supposed to be about religion and or Christ. What the fuck? I Believe I Can Fly was never about any of that. It was, like I said, it was a fucking Space Jam theme.
There's a difference between gospel music and worship music. Like, there's a big difference. Like, this is clearly not a worship song, right? Like gospel means good news. I wish I had somebody in the comments right now.
You got me right here, sir. Amen. You got a witness right here.
Redemption says, what a stretch. I wish I knew which we said was the stretch. So just let us know. Aki Betta says, Aaliyah loved Kells. And Aki Betta says, Brandy killed a person. Yep. Suge Knight is innocent, he says. Kelso says. Nina Pink says, man, if someone have a gun, I'm gone.
Right.
And Kelso says, you can't legally put someone in jail for a vehicle death that was an accident. And
Thank you.
Redemption says crotch. So I believe it was I like the crotch on you was the song where homie said 18 and over, 16 and younger. And Kelso says 18 and over, 16 and under is nasty man bars. Yes, that's a fact. Louisville in the league says R. Kelly tape is on Pornhub.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think
that's crazy. Louisville in the league says 360 GDs are gangster disciples and 720s are growth and development. And Louisville, you're talking too much literature in this chat right now. At the end of the day, let's just for respect of the man of the Chief Hoover who's in behind bars and they're still saying this man is behind a lot of fuck shit. Let's just say gangster disciple means growth and development from now on moving forward, at least on this platform. Kelso says Ray J Booty Goons and Chris Stokes Bloods play shirts versus skins, touch football on Crenshaw every Sunday. Kelso says, nah, we not finna do MLK like that, bruh. Laugh out loud.
That was wild. That was a wild comment.
That's the accusation that we will have to research. Virginia Slim says J Doug on the R. Kelly steez. Keenan says easy J Doug. Kelso says, what's the difference between 16 and 18? Really? Is wild as fuck. Louisville in the league says, what not my nigga Prince? Not that's the king. Yes, Prince moved in a woman he met her at 16, moved her in at 17.
That's a legal guardian.
And talk about he was doing some Jehovah's Witness ministering to her or something.
And then soon as she became of legal age, married her. So he met her at 16 at a concert. I believe her parents introduced her to him. And then he moved her in at 17 and became her new legal guardian. He moved her in at 17 and became her new legal guardian. And then as soon as she hit of legal age, he engaged and then married this woman. Keenan Kong said the legal age of consent in France is 15. Let that sink in. Interesting. We're gonna have a co-host, a special guest co-host as soon as next week, who is French, and we're gonna have to remind me to ask her about that, Keenan. Kelso says sheesh. Louisville says, I mean, Christians let Kanye West remix so anxious in the church. So yeah, I'll better says, I believe I can fly. You saved me.
That was a gospel joint.
And Redemption says sacred versus secular. Better says R. Kelly, you saved me in 2005.
R. Kelly gospel album swing too.
You better believe it.
That thing now it's a double disc too. Oh, he got some tracks on that album. Please.
He was trying to save himself with writing them songs. That's all it was.
And it worked for me. Shit.
And he saved a few souls along the way. Amen.
There you go. Hey, 80 man.
Kelso says you saved me was a banger, cuz. What if that wasn't about God but his lawyer?
Right.
Right.
Facts.
You gotta just put it. It's one of those things that one shoe fits all, one hat fits all. Yeah, you just put it wherever it need to go. If a bitch gonna let you move in her Section 8 apartment, then you just throw that on. You saved me. You saved me. Yeah. So that song can fit anything.
And this comment hasn't registered in the system yet. When you write the comments in the chat, sometimes it takes a while to register in the system for me to put them on the screen, just to let you guys know. But I think it's worth mentioning before we move on to the next topic. Virginia Slim says Harry Belafonte, Nina Simone, Paul Robeson, etc. were musicians who turned to activists and leaders. And matter of fact, it just registered. And that's a good point, which is why I said not all of them. You know what I mean? Like, we can't just, because we love their music, all of a sudden give them like legendary status or activist status, or, we shouldn't just call them our heroes just because they make good music. That's just how I feel about that. And
yeah, I think Jeffrey Dahmer made art.
And then, to raise another good point too, you guys are speaking of him as he did a good Christian album and things like that. As a Christian, you shouldn't believe in idol worship. So a lot of the blind eye that we're taking to R. Kelly's things is idol worship. That's exactly what it is idol worship. So
You don't get to judge and diagnose me, brother. That's a sin in itself. Come on, man.
Thou shalt not judge.
I'm saying, speaking of him and the Christian thing, not speaking of you as a Christian. I'm speaking of him doing Christian music and then people just idol worshiping him. It just goes together. It was a segue. It wasn't.
Well, I'm a homemade Christian. I make my own rules.
It wasn't a shot, sir. It was just an observation. So let's go on to this next topic. Speaking of parents crucifying their children and children getting harassed and sexually molested, and all of these things happening to him via the entertainment world. Let's talk about this child actor who's now coming out saying she was sexually assaulted on many occasions. And this is, I always knew her as an actress, but I never knew she was related to the Smollett guy. But this is Journey Smollett. And they're saying this article comes to us via Complex. And they're saying Journey Smollett is shedding more light on Hollywood's long-standing problem of sexual misconduct. And they go on to say, during a recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter, the 33-year-old candidly spoke about the hurdle she faced as a Black woman working in entertainment. She spoke about pay disparities, the subliminal and overt efforts to erase blackness, and the sexual harassment she experienced through most of her career. Smollett told reporter Lacey Rose that her upcoming HBO series, Lovecraft Country, was one of a few productions in which she did not experience sexual harassment from the time she was a child. Yikes. They quote her saying, "I don't know that I can confidently say that I've worked on one job prior to Lovecraft from the time I was 12 on where I hadn't been sexually harassed, whether it was by an assistant, director, a co-star, director, producer," she said. Smollett later clarified there were a number of other film and TV sets where she did endure this kind of abuse, but emphasized it was quite common. Like a guy saying before we're about to do a love scene, "Hey, your tits are about to be hanging in the wind. It's not okay," she said. Before revealing she had stepped away from a project because the misconduct was so bad and they let me out. Smollett said she has learned how to navigate the industry and never hesitates to make her voice heard. She told The Hollywood Reporter that after signing on to Lovecraft Country, she told the producers that all sexual banter would be off limits. "And I don't apologize," she said. "I'll be like, listen, this fake ass sexual harassment meeting that we're having, I'm going to raise my hand now and let you guys know that the standards that they're setting are bare minimum." You can read her full interview at the Hollywood Reporter, and I'll bring that up and you'll see why. I'm not going to read that one. But how do we feel about sexual harassment in Hollywood and it being geared towards children? What's your thoughts of her coming out now saying this?
Can I go first?
Oh yeah, go ahead, because I'm like a woman perspective.
Here's
first.
my thing. I'm a sound real crazy, but why do we wait so late? I don't understand why people come out so late to say anything. I feel like if you get it out the way right away, everything is handled. I always look at it as when you come out and you want to talk about it late, are you trying to get the attention now? Are you trying to gain something at this point? I guess because I'm so vocal and I know if something happens to me, well, first of all, I'm going to handle it myself because that's the type of person that I am. Regardless, even when I was little, I'm raised with all guys, so I knew how to handle myself growing up. So if anything ever happened to me, I knew I had a strong support system behind me, first of all. And two, it's like you can't get anything solved if you don't speak up. You have to speak up right away because what can we do for you now? You're grown.
Right.
Well, see, a lot of them, they don't say nothing because they still want to wait around for opportunity in that situation. So it don't be a big deal at that point. But once there's no more opportunity, they don't see they can get no more opportunity for that situation. Now it's a problem. And this is what I want to say real quick. I don't like this because I think this is another case of another sensitive woman just being sensitive on the set. Because she gave an example like we finna give a love scene and your co-star mentioning, hey, your titties finna be hanging in the wind. That's a joke. Nobody did sexual harass you, bitch. Your titties finna be hanging in the wind. So that's not sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is somebody grabbing your hip like, yo, let me get something. That's sexual harassment to me. Mentioning your body parts and mentioning that you got titties, yes, that's not sexual harassment. So I think you got some of these women that just hypersensitive to any type of sexual anything in between on the job and on people. Just like she say, if you call her into a meeting, she gonna get all over. Oh, this is a fake sexual harassment meeting. No, it's just like, yo, people is free. Some women want to be sexually harassed, so we have to leave the rules lenient for the women that do like a little sexual harassment to get that too. If you don't like sexual harassment, stay off to the side.
So the thing is, sexual harassment is inappropriate sexual remarks.
No, that's not true. That's something they just made
up.
No.
It's unwanted sexual remarks.
It's unwelcome or inappropriate sexual remarks.
And it's not wanted just because you're doing a job with that person.
But
if your titties finna be hanging in the wind,
it don't matter. It don't matter. That's part of the job. That's the job. But that don't mean just say, hey, your titties. No, you don't just get to talk to a person.
Hold on.
Let me just say. Just hold your thought. You don't get to just talk crazy to the person because you get to be in a love scene with them. That's ridiculous. Go ahead, Steph.
In the movie Temptations, I'm pretty sure she's talking about the male guy, the male person who she had the sex scene with, right?
What movie was this?
Temptations.
Okay.
Temptation. Tyler Perry movie.
Okay.
Okay, I know which one you're talking about.
And in this film, she has sex scenes where her titties are out. Mm-hmm. Someone say your titties finna be hanging in the wind is literally not sexual harassment. It's an observation at this point. What are we talking about?
We can't mention your titties
out.
We can't mention titties.
No,
we can't talk about your titties.
So we can't mention your nose. Who said your titties is sexual? Your titties is for feeding children. I might not even be looking. I think about your titties like that. Titties is for giving food to children. I can't mention your nose. I might be. What if I mention your feet? Feet might be sexual to me. Your feet finna be out.
And that's sexual harassment.
How? It's just feet. They may not mean nothing.
It is inappropriate sexual remarks.
Because I mentioned your feet?
Yes, of me physically.
So I can't say nothing to a woman. That's why y'all need to just go back home and get barefoot in the kitchen. Because if y'all can't say nothing to y'all, we don't want y'all in the workforce.
We can't talk at the same time. So you asked her a question. You posed the question to us. I think I want to answer it too, but I want to go in a row and all of us speak about the situation because she's also talking about since she was 12 years old. So let's not just gloss over that part. But you asked us, you had a point, C-Dot, and I hope it's also addressing the part with what makes it sexual when the guy's mentioning titties. Go ahead, C-Dot.
So the definition, because I looked it up just so we can be on point, is behavior characterized by the making of unwelcome and inappropriate sexual remarks or physical advantage in a workplace or other professional or social situations. So if she's at work and you say my titties is hanging in the wind, you didn't just fucking sexually harass me.
How?
Because I
might not even like your titties.
You're talking about my physical appearance.
Right. And then this.
So I can't mention your nose either?
No.
Because your lips is a sexual object too. I can't mention your lips.
Nope.
That could be sexual.
Yes. You need to go home then. You can't even mention. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to about men. You can mention them. Oh, you live in Nigeria. Then you can say whatever you want to about men. But when y'all come on the job, we can't say nothing till y'all go home.
Listen, let me answer the question though you asked before we move on and we go on and on and on with the debating thing. And please, let's stick to the subject. What makes titties sexual and not what she feeds her children with is the fact that you're not talking about breasts now. When you call it titties or a sex scene, you're just assuming she's comfortable with you. First of all, got to give her kudos for being professional enough to do a sex scene. But now you want to make comments about her physical appearance before the sex scene? You're just risking her being uncomfortable. And me, as a producer, as a filmmaker, I wouldn't want no actor who's going to make my female actress uncomfortable before we do a sex scene to make our film that much better. Fuck out of here. Take that shit somewhere else. Go talk like talk like that to the women you talk to on your regular time. I'm paying her for a sex scene. Shut the fuck up and do the scene. Don't be talking about her physical appearance or none of that. Is where I would come from if I was the producer and or director of that film. Antoinette, do you have anything to say?
Y'all pretty much said most of what I was saying. I agree with you. It's a difference between titty and breast, and it's sexual. I would consider sexual when you say a body part is something that's covered up in a bathing suit. If you're referring to that, I think that's sexual. Also, sexual harassment, if that's the thing.
Let her finish,
that can be sexual too. But also with sexual harassment.
I didn't hear what.
Also with sexual harassment. I'm sorry.
I didn't hear what anybody said because y'all was talking at the same time. So, but go ahead, Anthony.
No, I said anything that was covered up in a bathing suit and you're remarking to, that can be considered sexual. But he also mentioned lips, which can be sexual as well. But she didn't say anything about lips. She said her breast is going to be hanging in the air. Well, that's what someone told her. That's inappropriate.
So what if another woman say it to you? Because you got lesbian. What if another woman say
it's still sexual harassment?
If it was a lesbian, that'd still be sexual harassment.
No,
yes,
just another woman. Just another woman. She's not a lesbian. She's your homegirl. She said it to you, no big deal.
Some women will look at you like, are you crazy? I don't go that way. Or even if it was a lesbian, I don't, no, that's inappropriate. Anybody
like I
will
say
that
she's
to you.
Not a lesbian. She's just your homegirl. She's your homegirl. Not a lesbian.
Then that's something, that's not a professional atmosphere.
Yeah, she on the
set
with you.
That's not at work.
She on the set with you.
But she ain't getting paid.
But
also, I also want to say too, it's not the same thing. But I understand where you're coming from, but it's not the same.
Either you don't want to hear it or you do. You just don't.
It's not appropriate. Who want to get paid to hear that their titties are being, or their body parts is going to be flying in the air? If it is, I mean, that's not. Does it say that in script? No. So why would you need to say it to her like that? It doesn't say that when the director say this is going to be your screen. That's not appropriate. No. Also, what I want to say is, she's been going through, a lot of child actors been going through for years. The lady who played Shirley Temple, she said that she was sexually harassed. They was, so, and that was back in the 50s, 60s or whatever, probably earlier than that. So I stand with her. I mean, it's a lot of things, not even like in Hollywood, but it's just worse in Hollywood because there's a lot of kids, Disney and all that. They have so many stories. They grow up messed up in the head. But I mean, I really feel bad for her, and I stand with her.
I'm sorry. I don't empathize for her. I literally have no empathy. I just don't. Like, I'm going to save my empathy for real victims, okay? Because there are really people being violated, and what she sounds like some
I didn't get my way.
Right.
I didn't get my way in Hollywood.
Oh, he said my titties was going to be in the wind. You know what? I seen the movie. Guess what them titties was? They was in the motherfucking wind. Let's be honest. It's an observation.
And it's not no regular.
Okay.
But hold on, but Stephon, let me give you an opportunity to analyze what you're saying. You don't have any empathy for her, but I just want to reiterate. She stated that she's been sexually harassed since the age of 12. You don't have any empathy for someone. Hold on.
And I just looked at.
I'm gonna ask you directly so you can answer directly before you get immortalized saying you don't have empathy for someone who's been sexually harassed since they were 12. Do you have any empathy for her being sexually harassed since she was 12?
I just looked up her IDBM. She did no movies when she was at the age of 12.
Are you sure? Wasn't she in East Bayou?
East Bayou was before she was 12.
She actually did some work. She was on the Cosby Show. She did some like appearances. She didn't do like big movie roles, but she did some appearances when she was little.
Okay.
And her family had a TV show.
Yeah. It was the Smollett Show or something like that.
Yeah, the Smollett Show. I used to watch it.
All of them was on there.
She said she said the sexual harassment started at 12.
Right.
I just looked at her IDBM. She's 33 years old.
Right.
So she would have been 12 at what age? What time?
12.
I mean, what year? What year would have been 12?
12. That was 19.
That would have been 97?
Yeah.
Okay, that would have been East Bayou. So okay.
97.
And you know what's so crazy about East Bayou? In that movie, they had Megan Good tongue kissing on Samuel Jackson. So it's obviously, like I was saying when we was talking about immature and those guys, like what grown man wrote this in a script? What grown man filmed this and made the screen the storyboard for this and was like, okay, you're gonna sit here and you're gonna do it like that, and we're gonna. There's a lot. That's some weird shit to even have that in a film. I wouldn't even think to have that in a fucking film. Like that would. So I'm saying that to say this. There obviously was some weird motherfuckers involved with Eve's Bayou in the first place. Go ahead.
It was a woman that wrote Eve's Bayou. Just.
She
so
was
you know
with,
that.
just like the fucking woman who was working with what's the nigga name on the Weinstein on the island or the whatever. You know what I'm saying, like, let's not act like women don't insist in this bullshit. But you feel me? And let's not. Oh, and also, hold on. You said writ, right? You said wrote, correct?
She wrote it.
Check this out. In Hollywood, and I don't expect you to know this off top, but I'm going to let you know that if a writer writes a script, once they sell said script, that script can be manipulated in any way the producer wants. The writer can no longer tell them what to do with that script once they buy that script. You can be on the set, you can try to put your little intake in there, but guess what? Once they buy the script, it's theirs. So they could have injected that into that script. I don't know this, but I'm just going to say that it was some weird people involved with that shit in general. And if I was Samuel L. Jackson, I wouldn't have been able to take that fucking role. Let me just say that. Anybody have any other points on this? Because we kind of freestyled the order of it. But does anybody have any other points of Hollywood and the pedophilia that goes on Hollywood unchecked that she's trying to bring out?
I do want to say something because, I do Straight Up in the Morning. We actually talked to Crook. Crook came on, or was it Crook? I don't remember, but somebody came on the show and actually turned me on to the show Hollywood on Netflix to show you how fucked up it is over there and how they'll get you to sell yourself, and they selling people off to be able to do something like this. So I'm not surprised when they come out and say, hey, I was 12 and they was sexually harassing me, because they probably was. She did work on Full House. Now that I'm just thinking about her in my head, she was on Full House. She did an appearance on Martin, and she was young at the time. And people will look, because they're just dirty pedophiles, and Hollywood's a dangerous place.
What's the name of that white guy who was a producer or something that they outed a while back, but he worked with Disney?
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
A bunch of them.
I know but it was
a particular one though. He's talking about.
Is it Harvey Weinstein? So was it Weinstein? Weinstein was the guy that they have pictures with Oprah and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the thing about that is there was also some research back when that was coming out, was a lot of times on those Disney shows or whatever shows he was producing, he had all of these episodes where he had these little girls referencing their feet and putting their feet in the camera and all this weird shit. So you definitely can, sexualize people and throw it into into the creative works. And it was like a lot of weird, unnecessary feet shots and jokes, and then he was also accused of, sexually harassing one of those little girls by messing with their feet. But my main point is this, and this is the family right here. First of all, I agree with, I seen one of the comments, I overread one of the comments. We're going to get to the comments, but somebody spoke of the Smollett name not having any validity thanks to Juicy Smollett. But I agree with that. Like, the name is smeared because of Homeboy. So her coming out now, is really, is bad timing, because no one's want to hear any accusations coming from a Smollett right now. I will say that. And the other thing I want to say is your family put you up to it. If it was 12 years old up until you were on a Tyler Perry film where you finally got the strength to say no one's going to sexually harass me, why the fuck was the family not there? Like, I'm going to pose this question to the panel. If your child, first of all, I think parents who force their children in the show business is pretty weird off top. You know what I mean? I think that's a weird thing to do. But if you did want your child in showbiz, or your child wanted to be in showbiz and you were able to facilitate that, and they were on these Hollywood sets, how close would you be to protecting them? How invested would you be to protecting them from these pedophiles? And I'm gonna start with Antoinette.
Very. Even like the boy who played the guy now, who played on The Ring. Lord of the Ring. He
Right.
said his mom didn't even let him go to those parties. So there's some parents I respect that. She was not playing. You can do that if you want to, but as a parent, I'm going to be there. I'm quit my job. Some parents, quit their jobs and I guess manage their kids, but I'm going to be there if my child wants to be in Hollywood or wants to be, in that. But I'm not going to force them in. My daughter, she's 13. She's 5'9", hitting 5'10". She get modeling calls all the time. She don't really want to do it because it's like, well, I'm afraid that they may, take it somewhere else. So you have to be that type of parent to be on them. But being forced in it, I wouldn't. I don't condone pageants. I don't condone, baby modeling, especially this time of day. Or I think she's saying this because a lot of that, the child sex trafficking, the pedophilia in Hollywood is coming out, regardless if she's a Smollett or not, it's happening. So people are coming out the woodworks. So as a parent now, if you want to get your child in Hollywood, I would think twice. They even coming out in their 30s saying back then in the 90s that they was doing some fuck shit to them. So being pushed out there, you got to be crazy if you're a parent who want to do that for fame. Sell your kids out because they already outed them.
J-Dog, if your child was in Hollywood, what's your next step?
I don't know. I don't have no knowledge. I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I don't like to make up stuff before it happens. I don't know. I just know a lot of these parents, they be in these little occults and all these little circles that they let these people do this to their children and take a blind eye to it. And it just seemed like the Smollett family, just like y'all say, the name is bad now. So just like I say with the R. Kelly people, when that sexual harassment and that having sex with R. Kelly, when it's no longer working out in your favor anymore, that's the only time it seems to be a problem with these people, when they have nothing else to gain from these people. They probably, like you say, they name probably dirt in Hollywood. Nobody don't want their name on a credit. And a couple of weeks ago, she came out defending, trying to get Jesse back popping. And she was talking about, oh, Jesse, he been going through a lot. He depressed. He done took a whole toll on our family. And now she coming out with, okay, since y'all don't want to fuck with us, I'm going to spill the beans. That's all it is.
Yeah. Got a point.
See that?
A good point.
I actually want to piggyback off what he said. He has a good point with saying once it's no longer beneficial to me, now I gotta snitch and I gotta tell. It does seem like that's how the whole process goes. But to answer your original question was, if my
Because
child
you
was in
one
Hollywood,
quick, I'm sorry,
Go
but
ahead.
one thing, because you understand 12 to 30 something, you never mentioned to your parents
right,
anytime between that 12 to 18 that these people on the job, even at 12, if you're 12 years old and you don't want no sexual harassment on you, gonna go tell your parents like, these weirdos at work, I'm trying to shoot a scene, they was grabbing at my belt loop, what's going on there? And your mom will go and be like, I'm pulling you out of there. So if you continued on to 30, now it's drying up for y'all, now you got a complaint, stop it.
So see that, finish that point.
Yeah, but I'm with him on that point. But if, like you said, the original question was if my child was in Hollywood, I'm with Antoinette. I'm quitting my job. I'm going to be beside her 24/7. I want to know what's going on, where you going. You're not leaving my sight. Just with the R. Kelly series, a lot of the parents was like, oh, I will let my daughter go with him alone. Oh, no, the fuck she would not. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care how much money you got. You ain't going nowhere without me. And if she has to go without me, then she's not going.
Right.
Point blank, period.
But understand how Hollywood works. If you do a lot of research on these child actors, going down from like Family Matters, everywhere, these child actors don't be coming like they be walking through the mall. Oh, there's a little kid. Most of these child actors be people that already work on the set. They parents may work in makeup. Their parents may work in cameraman. Their parents may work in the dress up department, costume department. Your parents may be a writer. Then they bring you in as an audition. Your parents already be entrenched with these people. They already be friends with these people. So it's just like some kids used to say, like, I forgot what child actor was talking about this, but he was like, my parents, I grew up on the set. So, I knew everybody. They treated me well. And I just grew up. I was always around the set. Just walking around doing stuff because my parents worked up there in Hollywood. So most of these child actors don't be just random children. Just like the Smollett family. They've been having dealings in Hollywood I'm talking about in Hollywood, when you're black, you got to know somebody. It's like now I could have a popping YouTube channel in Hollywood begging me to come in. You talk about back then was like, yo, we black people, we really don't need nothing but one or two of y'all. So they've been entrenched in Hollywood for probably the last 20, 40 years, just doing little shit behind the scenes and trying to get on. So they probably don't care about no harassment and all that. It's probably just about my friends don't want to fuck with me no more. And
I gotta agree with that. Steph, what would you do? Because Steph, you have children, correct?
Yeah.
And what would you do if your children wanted to be in show business? You moved to LA, your children got booked on a show. What's your next step? How are you handling it?
Depends on how lucrative the job is. Like if they got a job worth millions, like you get a couple million for a season, then that is lucrative enough to where I would leave what I'm doing now and we would move to California and get shit cracking. Like, but that's hypothetical. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But the thing is,
go ahead.
No, I was just talking about how earlier the 12-year-old was conscious enough to alert her parents that she was molested by the taxi driver. But yet we have this woman who's being sexually harassed, this girl who's being sexually harassed at the job since she was 12 and never had the gumption to say anything until she was about 20 something years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand. Like and then also I'm about to say also, like, again, when she was talking about the titties in the wind in the movie Temptation, did she file a suit? Was there like a sexual harassment suit that she filed? Did she form did she make a formal complaint? Because otherwise this is just backwards talking where you trying to throw somebody under the bus.
I mean, I think that she probably definitely told her parent, and I think her parent told her, "This is what you got to do, baby."
No, I'm saying no. When she did Temptation, this is a grown ass woman.
No, I'm talking about in general. I hear what you're saying. The grown ass woman thing, that's another thing. But she did bring it up as I guess I don't know. I don't want to speak for her, but she probably did bring it up as a proof that she's continuing to get sexually harassed until she finally stopped it. My main thing I wanted to focus on wasn't even the titties in the wing while she was 30, 20 something thing. It was more of the child part. You know what I mean? And
see, that's what
hold on. And my take on it is that of course you have to blame the predators, but you have to also blame the parent. And then for the parent to have a child and then put another child in Hollywood and probably more, the whole family's probably clout chasing in Hollywood. There's no telling to the fuck shit we see that we don't know behind the scenes.
Now,
J-Dog, you have something to say?
No, I was just finna say, then I was finna say she go to give an example when she was 20 something of sexual harassment. You didn't give us no examples of sexual harassment from you saying 12 to 18. You said you've been getting sexual harassment from 12 to 18. Why you go all the way to 20 something to give us an example? Let me just see what was an example of when you was 12 getting sexual harassed.
I want to know too. That's a good point. I want to know too.
She don't have none. She just mentioned it. She just threw it out there because they know you can't just go out and say, yo, I was on set and somebody said, oh, I was finna have a set scene and somebody said your titties finna be hanging in the wind. Okay, people will say, oh, that was unfortunate happened to you, but you still spent that check. So, okay, you'll move on. You'll get past that. She got to throw that 12 year. This been happening since 12 to sell it.
I'm not going to say that it didn't. But I will agree with you that she probably finally let it out because Hollywood is no longer lucrative to her last name. C-Dot, I know you have to get out of here. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the last of these comments. I don't know if I can get them all done in time. We had a lot of comments coming in during this last segment right here. So I'm gonna comb through them. And let's see. Okay. So Brooklyn Honcho says good morning. Good morning to you, Brooklyn Honcho. Slim says another product of Hollyweird. Keenan goes on to mention Eve's bio. Exactly. I like that movie never sat well with me just because of that whole scene with Megan Good and Samuel. Just really some weird, sick shit. Lord Bell says Hollywood is sick. Kelso says you want that role, provide that hole, respectfully. Kelso with the fuck shit. Kelso says, where were her tits going to be? In fact, where were her tits going to in fact be? Hanging in the wind. I see no issue here. Redemption Song says this behavior is commonplace in the industry. It comes down to the person placing their morals and values before a paycheck or not. If they won't, the behavior will continue. That's a good point as well. Slim said she didn't.
Hey, Logic.
Yeah.
Real quick, we gotta understand these people be on set. They have alcohol on set. They have free drugs. If you a star, they'll let you do whatever you want to on set to get right before the scene. So please, these people be doing all type of stuff on the set. Don't be acting like Hollywood is so professional set. That's just like saying love hip hop set. You need to be professional. They be feeding them people plenty of alcohol, pouring it down.
The thing is they're in a professional capacity. So I'm not saying that they're moral or professional, but they're doing something in a professional capacity. That's as professional as it's supposed to get in the movie game, Hollywood, right? So it's like that's why I mentioned if it was my film, I would be man enough, moral enough to be like, yo, leave this woman alone. You're fucking fired. You know what I mean? It's that simple. And if the director and or producer and anybody else in any power, assistant directors, ADs, whoever don't have the gumption to do that, then shit like that is going to keep going. You feel me?
No, you're totally right about that.
Yeah, and they're equally responsible in my book. You feel me?
You totally responsible about that, but I don't want women to have that little experience and take it and make it a big deal. You know what I mean?
Virginia Slim says she didn't say anything because she wanted a job. Nina Pink says because they broke. Redemption says agreed. The legitimacy becomes compromised years after the fact. Nina says, yep, I agree. Brooklyn Honcho says they didn't want to be blackballed. Okay. Redemption is saying true. And people are agreeing. Brooklyn Honcho says logic is right, though. Salute to you. Virginia Slim says, laugh out loud. How's a bunch of dudes saying what is and what isn't harassment? And then
I'm sorry, because men don't know what harassment is because we couldn't receive it.
We can't talk about nothing no more. No abortions. We can't talk about R. Kelly and her mama and Leah mama no more. We don't know what harassment
No,
is.
y'all can't talk about nothing.
We can't talk about black on black crime.
Nope.
What can we talk about?
Nothing. Just
I see.
Nina Pink says she.
You know what? I noticed a lot of. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, one real quick thing. I noticed a lot of dudes get upset when females mention them wearing sweatpants. They feel like, but when females say something about them and they dick print in their pants, they get all holier than thou. But then it's like, with sexual harassment. But y'all don't like when women talk about y'all in your sweatpants.
Yeah, because you might say something when I'm on a softy.
You're quiet.
When I'm on a softy, because if my dick was hard and really fuck, you wouldn't say a damn thing. You'll be like, let me get the hell on before this nigga try to get his ass. Yes. So you want to say something when I'm on the job, I'm not thinking about no ass. You're like, well, your little softy thing. Yeah, I'm offended because my dick's soft. Don't look at my shit on soft.
Sexual harassment. Now you're
no, it's not sexual harassment.
Right.
He caught me at the bed. I ain't gonna take
sexual embarrassment.
Yeah, that's sexual embarrassment. But when I get that stiff arm, I'm coming to look for you to redeem myself. No big deal.
Nina Pink says she is Juicy Smollett's sibling, therefore she's not credible. Redemption says I write that off as a joke in poor taste. And Brooklyn Honcho agrees with Nina Pink. Nina Pink also says, okay, where's the parents while she is that young on set? Exactly.
Thank you.
Like I would be my son's personal bodyguard. I would be Secret Service out this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Because
I'm licensed to carry at this point.
What? Yo, fuck out of here. Kelso says sometimes you have to welcome yourself to know you're unwelcome. Correct and move on. Life goes on. Brooklyn says, Doug, seriously, are you dumb? And then he put some hand claps at my point. I guess Virginia Slim says facts, Ja. Brooklyn Honcho says inappropriate is inappropriate. And also says Doug needs to catch up with the times before he gets in trouble.
No. I'm up with the time. That's why I just don't say nothing to these women. That's up to the time. Leave these motherfuckers alone. I don't say nothing at all. They're like, damn, you ain't want no pussy? No, I want no pussy. Bye. Leave me alone. You ain't give me no lawsuit. Bye. Yes. I'm very current, sir.
And let's also throw this out there because of when we're speaking about the times we in and how easy it is to be charged with sexual harassment. If you're not that type of person, which hopefully you're not, I'm not going to say don't try to don't go out there and look for a wife, but I will say was when you're in a professional capacity, when you're doing work, definitely relax when you're around these women. You know what I'm saying? One, you're going to get a lot. Hold on. One, you're going to get a lot further if you just treat them like a coworker versus, you know what I mean, an object. You know what I mean? Two, even if you do mess with them, say they agree to it, they can come out later and say anything about you and you would still look guilty even if you wasn't harassing her. So if you're in the industry or any industry for that matter, if you work, it's never really a good idea to sleep with a coworker. Let me just say that.
Never.
See, they I don't like that because they took macking out the job. You can't even come in, you come in on the prowl. Yeah, you can't even mack to no woman on the job. That's sexual harassment. You might even you might be with your coworker, you might lean in and talk with you, your little mac flow. And she, you harassing. No, I'm trying to lay my Mac down. Laying your Mac down is illegal now.
The job
keep your Mac to yourself.
But the job
That's what the main place you was laying your Mac down.
No, listen, Doug. The job is not the place for laying your Mac down.
That was the main place. Job and school was the main place you would go to lay your Mac down, sir.
It's not the move, bro.
I know not today because that's why I say I don't say nothing. I just let it go because
you lay your Mac down
when you eat.
You lay your Mac down in a club parking lot.
I can't lay my Mac. I'm Macking, man. I can't. Niggas sitting there rapping to the roof, and I'm sitting there trying to Mac. No, I ain't even finna. You go to the club to simp and buy drinks.
That's when
I'm not doing
take it to the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? Like Ice Cube said, why the hell we going in when there's hoes in line? Take it to the parking lot and then Mac in the parking lot.
Ja, real quick, because I'm gonna have to go.
Mm-hmm.
I read the comment that you have up on the screen. And, everybody has their own definition. I just want to reply to her real quick. Everybody has their own definition of sexual assault, abuse, or whatever. It's like you don't know what any of us, we may have been sexually abused. Everybody's explanation is going to be different. I get where you're coming from and you advocate for these people. But, I mean, I can speak to you all day because I was sexually abused. So I know exactly where it is. I can speak light on the subject because I've been in that place, but I spoke up. That's me.
So the comment you're referring to, Ms. Ravioli, says, good morning. I advocate for victims of all things toxic. The explanations each of you is giving is the very reason victims remain silent. First of all, it's not each of us. Everybody did not agree at all. Right. So please do not take someone's opinion and take it on everybody. Whoever says what they say is what they say. Everybody's opinion is welcome here. Let me just say that. Listen, all right.
I was for her. So
and what is an advocate for all victims? You just reaching. Nah, I'm an advocate for all victims. Nah.
Anyway,
pick a victim.
Anyway. She goes on to say, ask 10 people you love if they have been sexually assaulted today.
It's like, yeah, but
everybody named Mama been sexually assaulted.
And you know what? It went a different way than what they thought. Try it again.
Redemption says, I don't either. Nina Pink says, thank you. Redemption says she allowed that shit to continue without addressing it for a paycheck. We agree there. Her family had an ill-fated show. Slim says, dude that acted on the show in The Shy was fired for making inappropriate comments to his female co-actor he did sex scenes with. Interesting.
Now The Shy, we looking at them side eye because they fired another black man because he didn't want to have some type of relationship with a transgender. Because they getting all the black men up off that show if you don't want to get butt broken. So don't fall for that, brother. That brother didn't want to get butt broken. He was like me. He still wanted to mac. I think like, I didn't want to mac. He was still on that old school shit of Mac in New Orleans, nigga. So he thought he was finna go in Hollywood and lay his Mac down. You know what I mean? And it didn't work out for him. They kicked him up out of the. Especially them lesbian women and stuff. They hate to see men out here macking. You can't even have no game no more. They want women to have all the game. If a woman don't try to give you no pussy, then they don't want you to try to get none. That's basically what it is.
Speaking
but
of
these women can match. These women can come get it too.
But J-Dub, speaking of game, isn't part of the game is letting a woman choose up. So if you letting a woman choose up,
but you got
hold on. Let's not do the talking over each other thing. You know you're gonna cut my mic out with that, especially. Isn't letting a woman choose up, isn't that part of like not having to even be all in her ear? Like if she's gonna choose up, don't we know that women know who they want to fuck with as soon as they see you, as soon as they see you in action, as soon as they see how you walk in the room, how you talk, how you carry yourself. Yep. So you don't have to be all.
Sometimes you got to be there to present your.
Steph, hold on, Steph, you was the same nigga a few episodes ago talking about women holler at you. So stop.
Listen. That gives you a chance to present your shit. But you got women for the most part, even if they like the way you moving, they may, especially if they're a dime, they're not finna come up to you all the time and try to be like, yo, what you got going on? Sometimes you gotta walk up to them and just be like, yo, what's up?
I agree with that.
So just sitting around waiting for women, that's very convenient. Yes, you would get some women like that. But if you see something, you gotta go get it because guess what? Another nigga gonna go get it if you don't pop your damn collar. Come on,
I agree with that.
Stop
But not,
it, man.
Hold on.
Don't try to out-talk Mac me.
Hold on.
I mean, you can't do that.
But not on the job. That's not on the job. And I think we lost C-Dot. I don't know, either through the technical or she had to go back.
I think she had to go.
But yeah, I agree with that, but not on the job. I just don't agree with that on the job. So Nina Pink says, okay, where is the parents? Look up her Wikipedia. She has a huge family. My point exactly. Brooklyn Honcho says, wish I had any kind of show. I mean, you know, the internet is for everybody, bro. You can have a show. You know what I'm saying? If you need assistance, feel free to link us behind the scenes. I know you're in Brooklyn. My Instagram is on the in the description. Keenan Kong says Full House. She was on Full House. Ms. Ravioli says Steph did not answer the question. # deflection. I don't know which question it was, but
I answered
about if you're about something else. I forgot what you asked him.
Nina Pink,
like you answered the question though.
Nina Pink says, to be honest, I didn't like that part of the movie. I could never get with that movie because of that scene. Redemption says Ghislaine Maxwell. Yes, that's why I spoke about women also bringing people to be molested. Virginia Slim says, yep, it's called creative liberties. Speaking of people who buy scripts, they can pervert them and do whatever they want with those scripts. Nina Pink says,
real quick, by the way, Samuel Jackson was the producer. So if you feel like there's a pedophile, then give a name.
This is the thing. I said on that set in general, there had to be some weirdos. Even I couldn't even been the cameraman in that fucking scene. All right. So, but at the same time, I'm not giving him a pass at all because he was the one that was kissing the girl. So if he was the producer and he got the kiss and he was kissing on that little girl, Samuel, you're fucking suspect, nigga.
Who Samuel was kissing on?
Megan Good when she was a little girl in the movie.
She was.
I don't know how old she was, but she was a little girl, bro.
Who approved that?
She was like 14 or 15.
Apparently,
she was 14 or 15.
Yeah,
Megan Good is 39. Megan Good is 39 years old. The movie came out in 97. So I don't know. 23 years ago.
16, because I was 12 in 97. So she's 16. She was 16.
81.
Fucking crazy, bro.
Because I'm 35.
That she was 17 because the movie was made in 97. Okay. So she was younger.
Hold on, Steph. The movie was released in 97. If you look at that scene,
the scene happened at the end of the movie too. So it was probably
they could have did that last minute. You know how they do cut-ins, Logic. You in Hollywood,
and I know how they also could release a film.
They do reshoots too.
They can do it. Yeah, they do. They do what's called pickup shots. But I also know how they can release a film years after they filmed it. You know what I mean? So she looked really young in that scene. It was horrible. Either way, she wasn't of age. The shit was weird. The shit was super weird. Nina Pink says also that movie Beloved, Oprah movie was weird. Redemption says Hollywood was a crazy series.
And what black movie that came out in the 90s that wasn't weird? Jason Lear was weird. Set It Off was weird. Menace to Society was weird. Boys in the Hood was weird. Everything was weird back then.
Jason Jeffrey says Roman Polanski. Aki Better says Philip Spector. Chris Jones says Megan and Megan Good. She also was bleeding when she had her dress on, waiting for her father. It was disgusting. Anyway,
what the hell y'all was watching?
I think he's talking about the Eve's Bio joint.
Never seen it.
I don't think you want to. Keenan Kong says Hollywood was dope. Aki Better says Umar Johnson is a Crip.
Umar Johnson, crazy as a bed bug.
When were we talking about Umar?
We did.
I don't know.
That was the left. That was something from the left. Brooklyn Ancho says, unfortunately, Virginia Slim says Dan Snyder was the Disney / Nickelodeon dude. Redemption says, you were referring to the Nickelodeon producer Dan Snyder with the foot fetish. That was some weird shit. And Brooklyn Honcho says, family members trying to sell the kids for the check to whomever. Exactly. Miss Ravioli says, children. I hope I'm saying your name right, sister. Ravioli. It sounds like Ravioli. Children can be easily manipulated by abusers. The child would not know at the time of the initial abuse that they were being abused. Adults can be manipulated. Advocacy over silence. But I have to go to Steph's earlier point, which was she was 12, and this young lady who earlier was in a cab that got molested at 12 knew she was molested. I think at 12 years old, you know you're being molested. Younger than that, you know what I mean? Maybe you can adult could play a trick on you, but 12, 1 year from 13, I think you know wrong from right at that point. Brooklyn
but she didn't say much she would get molested. She said she would get harassed, right?
Right. So I guess, maybe she didn't. I don't know. You're right. Maybe that's a little...
harass and molestation are two different things. Somebody could have said, look at your lips. And now that is harassment. You got some juicy lips. That's harassment these days. So the net is too widespread for harassment. So we don't want to.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry. I'm not going to interrupt. Because something happened to me when I was 12. And
I mean, say what you got to say. Say what you got to say. You already introduced it.
I remember when I was 12. I'm sorry. Real quick. This is real quick. All right. You say how someone said. I remember when I was 12, I was walking out of my building in Harlem. And this guy, I was crossing the street to go to the corner store and had on some shorts. They wasn't short or anything like that. I just had on shorts. I was 12 or 13. So we standing there waiting at the light. I don't know this man from Adam. He's clearly in his 50s or late 40s. And he says, those legs will look good wrapped around me. Now, how would that sound to a 12-year-old? Is that just my legs? But he said they will look good wrapped around him.
How did you take
13 and that was another point of mine. I didn't know how to take it because I was shocked. I'm like surprised how he said it. So I froze. I'm gonna be honest with you. I froze, and it took me years. I still think about that. Why didn't I run or anything? I didn't know. So you can say, oh, they should have ran or said something then. When you're a child, you're trying to still register that and say, okay, what I just got myself into. I told my grandmother, but of course she couldn't find him by the time I got upstairs and let him know. So when you're in that position, you don't know how to act.
Right. I mean, I think it's easy to freeze. Even as an adult, sometimes you don't know how to respond to something and you think about something you could have said later. Steph, you had something you was trying to say?
No, I was asking, because you're referring to some man who you said you knew from Adam. You didn't know from Adam. And
didn't know.
Okay. But she was referring to people who she worked with daily. You see what I'm saying? Like, I understand your situation where you couldn't have did nothing, but she's around the person every day. So you're around somebody every day and they're harassing you every day. You're going to say something. You're going to break. You're going to give at some point. And the fact that you never whispered a word until after your brother comes out with the shit, is your brother with the shits? I don't know.
All right, so Brooklyn Honto is saying well said to Miss Ravioli. Nina Pink, Beyonce mom was around all the times. The Duchess of Wisdom said true. Salute to you. I haven't seen you in the chat since a while, so glad to see you here, Duchess of Wisdom. Brooklyn Honcho says nobody learned nothing from the Michael Jackson situations.
He was innocent.
Oh, you know what? Let's save the Michael Jackson talk for another time. And I actually have I'm very cool with someone who is actually some type of relative or family friend to the Jacksons. So we'll have to have her on the show when we do speak of that. The Duchess of Wisdom also says they've grown up conditioned to be pawns and victims of Hollywood. Ms. Ravioli said it's not once. It's not once. It's no longer benefits the victim. It's not once it no longer benefits the victim. Rethink it as the victim has the opportunity to learn and understand what actually previously happened when no one until me teaches the red flags. I hear you, but she's 33 now. The timing is totally off. Like, she's 33. She's been an adult for over 10 years. She's waiting until she's. Can you guys hear this in my background?
What is that?
Yeah, that's they're mowing the lawn outside. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, you got a lawn?
It's faint.
I thought you was in like a New York high rise or something.
I actually moved from the city half a year, about a year ago. I kept the studio in the city. So, but anyway, I'm still in New York. I'm just not in the city right now. Anybody want to react?
Oh yeah, I want to say something. Yeah, I wanted to say something about this. She's saying it is when it no longer benefits the victim because we can't tell if that was unwanted in the time or you looking back and you didn't want it now. You know what I mean? Because some stuff you could want then. I don't know when she's a child. I don't want to speak about when she's a child, but as a grown adult, yes. You know what I mean? Some women like to be sexually harassed. Let's not forget about those women. And it's easy for people to come out because they know them buzzwords for these days. And we have to stop. We have to start. I know we don't like the victim blame, but we do have to start analyzing victims because everybody and their mama is a victim nowadays. You know what I mean? So you have to start asking questions because people are starting to use this as a buzzword to get sympathy and get other people looked at funny style, especially women. And men can't use this. Nobody don't care if a man say, "Oh, I was sexually harassed." They don't even get a second thought. It's not even a discussion when it's a man. And Ted Cruz say somebody grabbed his dick, the world laughed at him. You know what I mean? So let's stop acting like we so have to motherfucking just slow the world down when a woman say she done been sexually harassed. All right. We're gonna ask them, we're gonna analyze what you mean when you say sexually harassed. Somebody said your titty was hanging in the wind. Okay. What did that stop you from doing in life? Did that stop you from getting your bag? No.
I'm gonna say that it's definitely weird timing now that her family name is smut in Hollywood. I wholeheartedly believe she's telling the truth. Let me just say that, Ms. Ravioli. I wholeheartedly believe she's telling the truth, and I think Hollywood is very prone to molesting children. Right? I think they sexualize children in front of us and behind the scenes, even worse. And a lot of times we turn a blind eye to it because they're getting money, or you know, even the parents definitely turn a blind eye to it. So I think she's telling the truth. I just question her parents, and I question the timing. Now, I do think they have a point. I do think they have a point when they say now that her family name is smut, they probably can't get work. You know what I mean? That now she wants to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? She should have been talking about it because how many people, since she grew up, she should have been talking about it because how many people also got molested and coming after her because she didn't speak up is my take on that.
And another thing too, you know what I mean? Her parents was probably a part of it. She might be telling on her parents too. Her parents might have been in that whole molestation reign, doing stuff in Hollywood. And like you're saying, black people get around these white people and think, yo, I got a permanent place in the fuckery. Then white people tell you, no, we just like Bill Cosby. Running around with white people, he thinking, yo, everybody drugging bitches, I can do it too. Let me nigga with here. And then white people turn their back on it like, nah, we don't know nothing about no drugging. You know what I mean? They leave you out to dry. So black people, they do get mad when they get left out to dry because they think white people gonna take care of them and their kids forever. And they see that wasn't gonna be true, and now they mad. But their mama and their dad probably were doing some type of molestation. Then they had a mama sitting down in the middle.
That was that birthday party. But I was just saying that the mother definitely had to know. Come on, and you got to do a better job at protecting your children, especially when introducing them to this Hollywood bullshit.
And by the way, it seems like if that's the case, it seems like they give up their children for a lot of sexual things in Hollywood. If you got your daughter out here doing sex scene, Jesse Smollett on the Empire getting his back blown out. Y'all just one of them family. Y'all just letting y'all sexual. They seem like they just call y'all when it's time to get freaky. Shit. They know who to call.
But that,
Shoot, who gonna get their back
and
blown out with no
and
problem?
then
Call
and
them
then
smullets. They don't mind getting smutted.
the question that keeps going around is where was the parents? Where was the parents? Where was the parents? If I recall, aren't the parents in the industry too? So they weren't working 9 to 5s. I'm pretty sure they were there. Correct?
That's how I was about to say that. Yo, I was
Call
about
them
to say that.
smullets. They don't
They had to
mind
put
getting
around.
smutted on camera.
we say where the parents, we saying that in regards to where were they when it comes to protecting them. So we're not saying that where were they physically. We're saying that the parents are responsible as well. That's what we're saying. So we're not, I don't know if you're agreeing or disagreeing with the point, but we're saying that the parents should have stopped whatever happened to her is what we're saying. That's the point. At least that's my point. The mother should have stopped that. And that's why I posed the question to you guys originally. What would you do if your child was in Hollywood? Would you be, you know what I mean? And C-Dot answered it, and Antoinette answered it how I would be. I would be my son's personal security. I don't give a fuck. I would be his personal security. And I don't have a daughter, but if I had a daughter, same thing. I would be the personal security. I don't give a fuck. There's not a meeting. There's nothing. There's nothing you can do without me being right there. That child is not getting rid of me until they're adult. Fuck that.
And it's weird to me because now I'm looking at this Jesse Smollett thing. I was wondering, how did he get that job on Empire? Did the script go around that, yo, we need somebody to get their back broke on camera? Because I ain't never seen Jesse in nothing else other than getting his back broke. So did they go find him strictly to go get his back broke? That's what I'm saying. So we have to think about that too.
Now he's a child actor and he's a performer and he's gay.
Okay,
that's what I mean.
He's a professional,
and he's a Smollett. They don't. I'm telling you, they know.
He's a professional butt stunt. Is basically what you're saying.
All right. Redemption says, "Good touch, bad touch." Come on now. Brooklyn Honcho says it's hard to figure out shit when you're young, but everyone knows when it's wrong. Nobody cared enough for her to stop the BS. That's what's going on. Ms. Ravioli also says, please allow me to constructively critique this portion of the show on my platform, Advocacy Over Silence. How about this? If you want to critique this part of the show, because it sounds like you want to take sound bites and make it sound like we all advocate for what everybody said, which is not the case, because I did not advocate for certain things that you said we all advocated for. So do this. If you want to critique this show, contact me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is in the description. It's Jah_Logic. And have me on your show. And if maybe some of us will be on the show with you.
Yeah, do that
because don't take our words. Yeah, we'll come on your show and don't take our words out of context and then do what you say, do whatever you want. I'll even produce the show for you if you don't know how to get a look similar to how we have a look now. And then also, Ms. Ravioli, you're allowed to come on our show. You will be allowed to come on our show after, and let's get you into the fold. Let's not make any YouTube enemies via any bias reporting. We don't want to do that. We're not into the YouTube beefing and all that bullshit that goes on other shows. But if we can speak for ourselves and not be edited, then I think we can create some sort of agreement. But that's what we're not going to do. You're not going to edit our stuff and make it sound like we all just are pro molestation or anything like that. So follow me on Instagram, JahLogic. You can research, hit everybody else up as well. And my business page is I Rant Podcast Studio on IG. That sound is definitely cutting me out stuff.
Because if I see me on your page, I'm gonna flag you. I'm not gonna lie.
So invite us on the show. Jah_Logic at Instagram, and on Instagram at I Rant Podcast Studio for the business page. All right. And we can work something out. Virginia Slim says Thandie Newton just came out with a similar story. Brooklyn Honcho says Miss Ravioli, is that the name of the show? So we got some people interested in your show. So I'm interested. I'm gonna send me a link to. I want to see your show as well. But we'll definitely come on your show. We'll work that out. Let's get it. Jason Sheffy says you can't manage how a person deals with trauma. That's why there aren't statutes of limitation on this. We got to stop victim shaming. Me personally, I'm not victim shaming. I do think that it's odd that she's coming out after her last name is becoming smut in Hollywood. I cannot turn a blind eye to that. But who I am shaming amongst the pedophiles who are actually guilty for being pedophiles is the parents. That is the theme of the show today. The parents. Where the fuck is the parents when it comes to protecting these children? We need more active parents. Don't get the check from the kids being in Hollywood and then turn a blind eye to the children getting molested. That's just bullshit. You know what I mean? The money is essentially going to you as the parent. So if you're basically getting paid for giving your child up to Hollywood, so you need to do your fucking job. Exactly. Do your job as a parent. Jason also goes on to say, but I also believe in the law, and it does not need to be proven. People can't get canceled and convicted on hearsay. That goes to their point I guess talking about R. Kelly, when we spoke about him earlier. Redemption Song says the parameters are too cloudy. Agreed. Kelso says, preach, J. Doug. Make Mackin great again.
Yeah, man. Stop about putting these rules on men, then women could go around and they could pick and choose whoever they want to get their Mac on to. Nah, nigga gonna lay his Mac down also.
Okay.
Put some pressure on that vagina.
Virginia Slim says, question to the ladies. Does the attractiveness level of the person talking to you equate to feeling harassed? And now we only have one lady on the panel, so I'll leave that to
Yeah, look how she smirked. As soon as she read that, she knew the truth. She look how she laughing. She know the truth. If it's somebody that they like, it's no big deal. But let it be a mush mouth.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest. For me.
Yeah, be honest.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. For me, yes. If you're a hideous, scary looking dude and you're harassing me, I'm going to feel a certain way. But I'm gonna feel a certain way if you are an attractive dude and you like really, hard, going hard. That's not attractive either. So,
but if you lay it on you nice and smooth,
still not good. No matter.
What does he say, yo, babe? I'm gonna have them titties hanging in the whiz end. You know what I mean? That's how you win. You know what I
mean? No, not at work.
In the
not
win,
at work.
That's how you win. You know what I mean? Yeah, see, you like that. See, you still get the macking in. Amazing. See what I mean?
Kelso. We're gonna go to the next question. Kelso, Virginia Slim, attractiveness and status move the line of sexual harassment for sure, bro. Slim says, laugh out loud. Well, in that case, it's all subjective.
Exactly.
Kelso says sometimes you have to make her turn around so she can see what she's turning down. Church. C-Dot said I had to go, but I'm still here. C-Dot, answer the question in the chat then. If the man is ugly or hideous, and versus if he looks good, does that make up your mind if it's harassment or not? Let us know. That relates to harassment if he's attractive to you. Miss Ravioli says, that's my point. I define toxicity so that the conversations and actions are no longer convoluted. Also, at the point that I commented, each of the commenter was incorrect and or undereducated. Ouch. So yeah, let's have a conversation on that. I don't think you fully listened to us if you think we were all wrong or undereducated. But the point of us having a panel here is that we let all points of views be heard, and then we let our audience come up with their own conclusion. That is exactly what we do here. We say it every show, and we all did not agree. So I don't understand how you can just say we were all incorrect. I don't think you were. I think you either were selective listening, or I think you just didn't hear the whole show or the whole situation. I think you probably came in at a point, where things were said that you didn't agree. And me personally, especially as the person who puts the panel together, I don't try to reiterate my point. So if someone was more louder than me or said something after me, after I already said my point, I'm not going to keep saying my point. But once again, maybe you will have a point that is less heard or hasn't been said. And I think you should say those points instead of just saying we were all incorrect or undereducated. I think you should just say your point, and then we'll speak to your point. Because at this point, I don't even know what your point is. It just seems that you just want to tell us that we're wrong. Antoinette?
Right. Yeah, well, I just want to say this real quick. I'm not incorrect or uneducated if I experienced it. So what do that make me? I experienced sexual assault. I experienced sexual harassment. So what do that make me? And I did not, shame, Journey Smollett at all. So I don't know what she was referring collectively.
Right. So and you know, if you want to come on the show tomorrow or something, we can arrange that as well. As the show is nearing the end time. But like we said, definitely contact us. Maybe let me know the points that you want to use on the show. Let's work it out. Let's not just point finger and blame because you heard something someone said that you don't agree with and blame it on the whole panel. That is not professional either. Brooklyn Honcho says, C. Dot, you will be the reason someone will step up and have courage, because C. Dot spoke about how she spoke up about her situations that she went through. So once again, we had two women on the panel who not only didn't agree with a lot of things, but also were vocal about being sexually assaulted and or harassed in their past. So once again, I don't know what was heard from the other Mrs. Ravioli. Anyway, Keenan Khan says she was 10, speaking about when Megan was in the film. Kelso says, peace, beloved. Kelso says, all movies are weird. I don't think all movies are weird, but there are definitely a lot of them out there. Redemption Song says, if you think the movie Beloved was twisted, try reading the book. Wow. Kelso said, crazy as a bed bug. Quote somebody saying crazy as a bed bug is nuts. Aki Better says, y'all making Hassan Campbell mad as hell. Kelso also says, Aki has brain spasms. Pay attention.
No, Hassan.
Miss Ravioli says, how can I advocate for victims of all things toxic? ? Because I'm Black. Because I will continue to do the work and research, and because I possess the ability to observe from many angles. Ms. Ravioli also said, age is not anti. I don't know what that's in regards to. Okay, age is not an indicator of knowledge. Okay, well, they do say the brain develops after someone reaches a certain age. So I think it maybe not. It does speak to how, it does speak to knowledge. Maybe not wisdom. Maybe you can be wise because wisdom comes with experience, but your brain does develop after a certain age. So age and knowledge actually do go hand in hand. It's not the same for everybody. It's not a one size fits all situation, but your brain does develop, therefore making you smarter after you mature into adulthood. Virginia, which is why things are illegal for you to do at certain ages. Virginia Slim says harassment relates to a relationship of power. True. Ms. Ravioli also says, also, how many of you and other adults can readily identify an abuser? ? And do you believe the ability to readily identify an abuser is a skill you must learn? You guys want to answer that?
No, I don't. Next.
It's just like how you could. It's just like how you can identify a Christian. You can't.
Okay.
They all come disguised. I mean, I don't know what she mean about that.
J. Doug, how many of you as
I'm sorry, have you ever been abused,
Miss Ravioli? Yeah, it's a question for you. But J. Doug,
I just had
do you think you can readily identify an abuser?
No.
Yeah, I don't think you can just assume someone's an abuser. I think actions speak louder than words. But I think we have to take action serious. So once somebody show you who they are, you got to take them serious. So if they say
I don't even know what type of question that is. But no, come on now.
Me neither.
Redemption Song 76 says, too much excuse making. Are we raising professional victims? Interesting. Are we raising professional victims?
Yes.
Nina Pink says, yes, to the DeBarge family. And the dad was doing some freaky stuff to his daughters. Wow. I didn't know that. I want to look into that. Ravioli says, put me in one of those Brady Bunch squares so I can speak. Okay, we'll do that on another show. We can do that on another show, and we will continue this. And you can let us know what points you actually want to, comment on. Yes, we can do that, just not today. Miss Ravioli says done. Okay, I hope that means you're contacting me. Redemption says good luck, Josh. Salute to you. Brooklyn Honcho says just subbed, and I'm looking forward to future content. Salute to you, Brooklyn Honcho. Redemption says J Doug is with the shits. And Kelso says nip it in the bud. Respect. No victims of editing. No victims or editing or video editing around here. Nina Pink says this is a great show. I really have enjoyed. Thank you, Nina Pink. We hope you come back. Miss Ravioli says I'm not a beefer. I'm an educator and healer. And all due respect, listen, I want you in the fold. But I do want to say this: that's not in being a healer and an educator on YouTube does not mean you won't beef. There's plenty of healers, educators, conscious folk beefing because they think they're more conscious than the next person. There are plenty of healers. There are plenty of conscious folks full of fuck shit, which is why we let every point of view be spoken here because we're not claiming to be the conscious folk. We're just claiming to be regular folks with our own opinions that bring information and or opinions to the table, and we want our audience to come up with their own conclusion. We have strong opinions, but we're not here to tell anyone what to believe. And one of the topics we'll probably speak about tomorrow is some of your conscious and healing and educating people who are also people who abuse their children, i.e. Lauryn Hill, i.e. Jaguar Wright getting molested or harassed, supposedly by Common, who once said, little calm, I make righteous bitches get low. Okay? We're going to talk about all of that. But we're not going just because you're an educator and a healer doesn't mean you wouldn't be beefing or wouldn't be perceived as beef if you decided to take our words out of context. We're just saying that we're not here to beef with anybody else. We rather talk to you. We rather talk with you. We rather work with you. That's what we're saying. So we not only hope you're subscribed and that you'll come back, but that you will cam up on one of these shows, if not a few others, because it sounds like you have strong points. So we definitely will love to have you up here. And we definitely would love to come on your show and not be speaking about. That's what we don't want to happen. We're not having people just speak about us and put their own twist on what we said. We rather speak for ourselves, and that's where we're coming from. Kelso said, put pressure on that pussy. Got it. Slim Redemption said, Slim, good question. And C Dot answers the question. She says, you can be ugly, but still be a good guy. Keenan says, camera up. We will, hopefully, in a future show. This show is actually coming towards the 3-hour mark, and we don't want to keep going over 3 hours and things like that. You also know that because of the program we use, up for about a day or two, you'll only see like the last 2 hours of the show. So that's what happens when we do a long show. Sometimes it all doesn't render in YouTube system right away. But we don't want it to be a long, drawn-out show where someone will be scared to even click play because they don't think they have 3-4 hours to watch the show. We like people to enjoy the rebroadcast as well. So we will camera up. Miss Ravioli says, I do not attack victims. My tone is never hostile. At the time, the young lady was confused as a child. She was undereducated about how to identify and process her feelings surrounding the incident. Slim says, Miss Ravioli, everyone on this panel are genuine people. They just share different views. It shouldn't be a slight to their characters. Thank you, Virginia Slim. We all have different views, and no one should be scared to share those views. Miss Ravioli also said, young lady, you can learn the red flags. It is a skill. It takes time. You are most powerful than you are more. I think she meant you are more powerful than you know. Keenan says J Doug wasn't annoying today. Salute. Virginia Slim says she name dropped Common and Quali. Oh, interesting. And yeah, she did. She did name drop Common and Quali. And she also talked about fucking Black Thought at the same time of him being married and with being with him, looking at the baby pictures. They were looking at the pictures of the sonogram and the baby pictures and being there when the child was being born while still fucking them. And I love Lauryn Hill's music. I love Black Thought's music, some of Quali's music, and I love a lot of some of Common's music. But let's not act like conscious folks don't be full of shit too. Let's keep it real. All right, everybody's human. Brooklyn Honcho says Miss Ravioli deflecting. Pay attention. Kelso says, "What if you haven't learned every red flag? What if your ability to recognize red flags is not to be trusted? Would that make it hard to identify a potential predator?" So that's a good question. Virginia Slim also says Black Thought is top 5. I'm prone to agree with you. And you know, today has been jam-packed with a lot of content, and we didn't even get to talk about too many topics. So we're gonna try
top
to
5 at what?
At rapping. Black Thought, he's saying he's top 5 as a rapper. Black
not
Thought
at making records.
Yeah, I don't think y'all listen to his records. I don't think you listen.
But they're not top 5 records.
I respect them, but it's not top 5. No.
We're gonna argue that at a later date. Listen, this has been the morning rant, and we're gonna play a song by Mr. Motherfucking Esquire titled "Fuckboy," where he speaks also about the cancel culture. Thank you all for being on the check-in. This has been the morning rant. I want to thank all my guest hosts, Antoinette, Steph, J Doug, C. Twan, Cass, who came in, the homies from Straight Up in the Morning, Schoolboy, can't forget about Schoolboy. Listen, it's been a jam-packed show, and Miss Brooklyn, Mrs. Ravioli, we appreciate you too. You heard? We appreciate you too for being on the check-in, and hopefully you're still watching, and hopefully you do contact us, and please do not make no review video on the show. Don't vlog on a vlog. Don't podcast on a podcast. If anything, invite us up to your show.
I'll be happy.
And we're gonna talk about it together. Can't podcast on a podcast.
Yeah,
Shit don't make sense. Don't make sense. It don't make sense. Podcast or a movie.
Cause I already know it's gonna be this jigaboo ass nigga here. This motherfucker here. Not mother black bitch. Nah, I'm flagging.
All right.
I don't even want to come talk to you either. You heard what I said.
Nah,
we talk to you.
We gonna pull up. I'm gonna try to convince J Doug to pull up too. But Steph, I think Steph will pull up. I think he would. And we'll maybe get school. We'll come up there. We'll definitely have some representation and we'll make it happen. All right, we'll make it happen. And the last comment, we're gonna give you the last word, young lady. She says, Miss Ravioli says, young lady, I am a victim of domestic violence, sexual battery, financial abuse, spiritual abuse. Hold on, J Doug, let her get the last word. And other types of abuse I learned, I healed, I now educate and heal. Well, salute to you. Antoinette also is a victim of those things. And me, I am a community advocate as well. I've done and this is not going to be a contest of who heals better, but I've done workshops in the prisons. I've done workshops in the communities, in the community centers. Homies knew since I was a young dude, you can go to that man and he'll help you get a job. I'm definitely live out growth and development. So we're not going to sit here and compare who's the healer and who's the conscious one and who's the right, you know what I mean? Who's right and wrong. What we're going to do is we're going to build together. That's what we're going to do. I believe in community. So if you want to come together, this is a podcast union that we form. So we will support your show. We don't have to agree with you, but you're going to come in the loop or you're going to stay out the loop. That's your choice. But what we're not going to accept is no podcasting on a podcaster. You're going to have us as guests or that's it. All right.
And I want to say is I want to thank Miss Ravioli for diagnosing me. I did not know I was a financial abuser. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you have exposed me to that. You know, now I can help change my ways. I have been diagnosed. You've been financially abused. You done ran into a nigga like me. Now I feel for you. Because I know what that can do to your credit score. I understand what that can do to your bank account. You probably got a couple cars in your name that you never saw again. So I know it's just a
And I got
mess,
stories.
you know? Yeah, I know you
got
probably had to
stories.
pay for a nigga child support before. So I understand your pain. Financial abuse is worse than sexual abuse, by the way.
All right. And I'm going to give her the last word again. She says build together. Salute. Let's get it. All right. So I'm going to play a song that's a little ratchet, Miss Ravioli, excuse me. But it talks about the cancel culture. And this song is from the homie, Mr. Motherfucking Esquire. Yes, his name is Mr. Motherfucking Esquire. This has been the Morning Rant.
Amazing.
Bye.
Intensity may be more than so much to be exposed to.
Got a heart cold as gazpacho, pink furs like Lotso, hug and kiss with a dick long as the hot dog at Costco. Brolic like Nacho Picasso, but I don't box though. Just told the Roscoe to turn beef into sloppy joes. Nah, I'm blind, I don't shoot niggas, but that line was cold. Drum rockin' gorillas, so driving slow down this winding road. Live live, die by the motto, that's the survival code. All who don't abide by it, swallow whole in this life is home. Project Dynamo, Simon Phoenix out the cryo zone. Be like, yo, you got it, bro. To hit niggas with body blows. Sneak niggas, watching Twin Peaks with Mystique niggas. She asked me who the shape chick to. I told her deuces, through a busy beat. I was banned from the bad bitches. Fire burn so pure in my heart, bro, I just had to hit him. X fell off, then tell me why none of y'all still ain't fucking with him. Blackballed him before, this time y'all gon' have to kill. You ain't met a motherfucker that can kill a motherfucker like that crazy motherfucker name. Mr. Motherfucker, you ain't met a motherfucker that can kill a motherfucker like that crazy motherfucker name. Mr. Motherfucker, you ain't met a motherfucker that can kill a motherfucker like that crazy motherfucker name. Mr. Motherfucker, you ain't met a motherfucker that can kill a motherfucker like that crazy motherfucker name. Mr. Motherfucker. Bow wow, bitch, I'm on some dog shit. Trapped up, hit 3 times, the 4th I skinny dip. Hit my bitch raw, that's my HIV test. If she ain't got it, I ain't got it. I won't hear nothing less, I guess. Cancel Mike, bitch, you got to cancel Elvis too. R. Kelly can rot in hell, but this music too good to mute. Oops, telling me no more ignition while I'm dancing. But then I post to stand for the fucking national anthem. Suck a dick and get a clue. Good reparations is due. A bunch of knuckle dragging clones rocking the Gucci fabric news. Fuck Prada, Burberry, fuck Louis Vuitton too. They ain't do nothing racist, but that's just in case they do. Shackles all inside of my mind, I had to break them off. Cowardice can only survive if you don't shake it off. Let's rap in New York, y'all should just admit y'all need me. Got a problem, don't tweet me, niggas. See me when you see me, motherfucker.
With this needle, I Dr. Depression. She'll end Esquire forever. What are you laughing for, bitch? You don't get to laugh. Only I laugh. I'm Dr. Depression. Let's kill this guy. God, no!
It's the motherfucking Esquire, text fire, German lager, ayahuasca, Jushin, thunder lager, ashwagandha, in Wakanda, with Lupita, tiger bomb, call me Saya, sayonara, sake bomb, sloppy seconds, it's still west, so I'ma try a Adderall, super saiyan dick, long as shit wrong, bitch I should've been on, bitch you should've been gone, proton cannons, guns, long as big show, fat white bitch, let me suck a tits and kinfolk, nigga.
Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane.
That's right.
Nah, it's a bird, it's a lane. This one's going out to all our fake superhero friends. My name is October Zero, Bandolero.
I'm from the Bronx. Place hip hop started.
And I'm with my man.
Put after started.
Mighty Casey, the rude boy.
Check it out.
He got something to say.
Check it out. Yo, we don't need another hero. They just crack heads and crack holes, whack goes and widows. It sounds funny, but I know that it's true. That deep down inside, man, they just like you. Hey, we don't need another hero. They just crack heads and crack holes, whack goes and widows. It sounds funny, but I know that it's true. That deep down inside, man, they just like you. Yo, I heard the Flash was on speed and the Hulk was on crack. Batman got bagged up for beating on blacks. Spider-Man shooting up, you could tell by the tracks. G.I. Joe killed 100 little kids in Iraq. Wonder Woman went down, she had hard times. Now she sniffed coke and she stripped part-time. And I heard Professor X was molesting all the X-Men. Messed with Jean Grey's head since she was a freshman. Democrats is Autobots, Republicans Decepticons. Bushes like Starscream, chains like Megatron. Fuck the whole world up, fighting over Energon. Don't give a fuck about who the fuck they stepping on. Now you got Lion-O, cheating on Chitara. Had a couple furballs and said he ain't the father. That's how I know all these heroes ain't that super. Cause Clark killed Lois, she was fucking with Lex Luthor. And we don't need another hero. They just crack heads and crack holes, whack goes and windows. It sounds funny, but I know that it's true. That deep down inside, man, they just like you. Hey, we don't need another hero. They just crack heads and crack holes, whack goes and windows. It sounds funny, but I know that it's true. That deep down inside, man, they just like you. Watch who you look up to, find out what they up to. Some of them nuts too, messed up and fucked up too. They like to fuck too, drink and do drugs too. Some of them gangsters, some of them thugs too. Sound like the front too, some is corrupt too. Watch your back, they might try to corrupt you. They say trust me when they mean fuck you. They say love me, but nah, they ain't love you. Hey shit man, what's going on?
What up, man?
Yo, I heard He-Man on steroids, kid.
What the fuck? I could have sworn I seen Captain America in front of the White House stealing some lady purse, man.
They say Captain Planet was dumping some oil over in Alaska. I don't know.
Get the fuck out of here. Yo, I seen some butt-ass naked Power Ranger selling his suit for $5, man, down the block. What is it? Power Ranger.
You better watch who you idolize. Look into their private life. You might see their whole life is a lot of lies. Rip off a lot of guys, lie, commit a lot of crime. And when they do get caught, they don't apologize. They just lie again, blame it on some other guys. True story, biography, unauthorized. Watch who says who's good and who's evil. Cause evil play good and villains play evil. We don't need another hero. They just crack heads and crack holes, crack holes and windows. It sounds funny, but I know that it's true. That deep down inside, man, they just like you. Hey, we don't need another hero. They just crack heads and crack holes, crack holes and windows. It sounds funny, but I know that it's true. That deep down inside, man, they just like you.
Like you.